Alright, we're live. Okay, cool. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. So, hello, I'm FroobMcGuffin, and this is Yakuza Dead Souls. For most people who know the Yakuza series, I'll do a little bit of background on this first. For those who know the Yakuza series, they'll know this game, or the series, for being a third-person action-adventure game where you walk around the streets of various cities, mostly Kamurocho, beating people up on the streets. This is a little different, as you'll see. So, the game is non-canonical. If it was canon, it would take place in between 4 and 5. And you'll see in a minute. So basically, the plot to start off with, Kazuma Kiryu, long-time Yakuza protagonist, has his adopted daughter got a letter about old janitor having a retirement party from their old Sunshine orphanage. And they decide that the girl who keeps getting kidnapped all the time, it'd be a smart idea to send her off on her own. You can probably see where this has gone. She's ended up getting kidnapped, and you see a cutscene from a few chapters on in the game where the middle of Kamurocho is completely destroyed. So we're going to pick the action up in a second, when we'll be actually getting control of Shun Akiyama here. He's a loan shark who was introduced during Yakuza 4, and is the first playable character of this game. We're going to be getting a few emails here. This is New Game Plus. I will explain why New Game Plus in a second, but this is very vitally important because in New Game Plus, you actually skip 95% of the actual cutscenes in the of the actual tutorials in this game, which in any percent, this chapter would take about 10 minutes, whereas here, it only takes about 5. Now, yesterday, I found some new speed tech. Do you remember the old way of manipulating certain objects? Let's use GTA 3 as an example. Do you remember in GTA 3 how you could manipulate the camera up and down to despawn vehicles and stuff? You can do that in the actual Kamurocho itself and actually despawn the NPCs who try to get in your way, which is absolutely fantastic. So, these cutscenes I'm skipping here is the start of the plot. There is a man in a baseball cap who went into a Tojo clan office, the Tojo clan of the main Tojo, the main Yakuza in Kamurocho, and he bit them. You can probably see where this is going. One of them fell out of the window with a pistol, which we picked up, and yes, guess what? They've turned this third-person action-adventure game into a third-person zombie shooter. So we've literally skipped about 5 minutes of tutorials there. Like, no joke. You can see that I've got silver guns here. That's one of the pros of being on New Game Plus. The other is something you'll see in a little while. All of my guns have been upgraded to their max, so they have a heck of a lot more damage output. They can hold a lot more ammo, stuff like that. I'll detail the differences between any percent and New Game Plus as we go along. But New Game Plus saves, on average, about 30 to 45 minutes. And trust me, we're going to want to get through this as fast as we can, even though this is a glorious game. So you'll see here, there's a load of people in front of us, who obviously we can't despawn. But when we start moving, you'll see me start to wiggle the camera, and you'll see that there's nobody spawning in front of us, apart from the hard-coded NPCs who are supposed to run forward, or who are there to talk to. This stops us from actually hitting a load of pedestrians in the way, and we can just get to our destination quickly. Don't worry about this headbanging, because this doesn't actually work in the infected zone when that becomes a thing in a few minutes. So we're going back here to the back of New Serena. It's a very important place in the Yakuza series, but the third floor is where Akiyama sets up his finance offices, and the second floor is the bar, New Serena. But yeah, it's nice that old style speedrun strats kind of work for that, in just despawning the NPCs, and they work on the other games as well. Some of the biggest time losses in this game are those menus there, because those are the obvious save points, and the great thing is, if you've ever played a PS3 game, you know how horribly unintuitive the PS3 UI is, and if I ever accidentally go into a save prompt like that, I'm losing about 10 to 15 seconds just telling it, no, go away, I would not like to save. So, we've gone to sleep, as you do. You know, we just saw some zombies, so we're just gonna disappear. And, oh hey, the zombies are in our office. And we just skipped about another 5 or 6 tutorials here that would have taken up another, like, 3-4 minutes. You can see lovely assistant Hannah in the corner there. She's not feeling too good. Yes. Fortunately, it's not infection from zombies, it's just an infection. Unfortunately, there are 2 types of cutscenes in this game. Obviously, the ones that I'm skipping now, and then ones like this one coming up in a second that have black borders on the top and the bottom in-game. Unfortunately, you can't skip those. Sometimes you can skip up the dialogue. This one, you can't. So, to hide her out, because our office door is broken, we're going to take her to New Serena. Literally a floor down. It's also camera changing helps speed up the run. Oh, you'll see. You know how people like meme and say save the frames? That is literally what we're going to be trying and doing at several parts of this run. Because the frame rate in this game, oh, it's a wonderful thing. Oh, it's bad. It is awful. You will see how beautiful this is. I don't think this was a late PS3 game, but there's certain particle effects that aren't great. So we have to go to Dokimoto's place. It's up on Tenkaichi Street, but we can't get there. Again, there's usually a set of tutorials here for teaching you how to learn abilities. In all the Yakuza games, you have abilities and moves and stuff that you can learn. In this one, all of them are tied to every single character. So when you buy them on one character, you get them for all of them. It's a shared pool. Even the experience orbs you level up and attain are shared. So I've basically... This isn't a full level 100 run, because you don't actually need to be, like, level 100. Oh, by the way, remember when I said about the frame rate? Yeah. So I'm gonna, in this very laggy room, try and get over the fire. Ah, that's a shame. If you get knocked down, it's a small time loss, but... Yeah, you can see that's just one of the many examples of the frame rate actually disappearing. And that's gonna happen a lot. You notice as well, there was a second way of aiming, which I did, which was actually a third-person, like, kind of reticule aim down sights. I will be using that in certain situations, especially against boss fights, where the actual, like, when you aim down the sights, and I'll show it a little bit here, you fire a bit faster. And these guys, some of these zombies you can't kill until they actually, like, enter the room. For this barricade, obviously we'll aim in and shoot it a bit quickly. So as you can see, the area that we just walked down, it's all destroyed now. It's all infested with zombies. Zombies, unfortunately, their hitboxes remain, and they linger for a little while after you kill them sometimes, so people like that can get in the way. So you can see this street that we just walked down is full of zombies. If this was any percent, we'd have a tutorial on exploding that car with a specific heat action. You'll see heat actions in a little while. And Dokimoto's place is on the other side of this giant wall, which is a shame. Can't see behind 5 FPS anyway, exactly. Didn't know there was a Yakuza zombie game. It's not well known. So we meet a low-tier Yakuza officer here. Good old Nagahama. He wants a pistol because, you know, he says there's zombies around, you know. And he references a certain Kazuma Kiryu, who we've also mentioned before. Long-term protagonist. And, ooh, that FPS. Ooh, nice. So he told us about a place where there are actual more guns. In any percent, you're only supposed to have a singular pistol, but because it's any percent, they're just, because it's New Game Plus, they're just like, just have your guns. Have fun. With some exceptions, which we'll get into again later. When zombies get shot and they crawl on the ground, like that one where I accidentally shot its leg off, well, I didn't accidentally, it's random. But when zombies crawl along the ground like that, they can actually, like, grab onto you or hit you and cause a delay, so we want to avoid that as much as possible. The good thing about NPCs, for the most part, if they're story-based or they're partners like this guy is, you can just go to the next section trigger, and then everything will be fine. Now, unfortunately, remember when I said not all of the tutorials are gone? This is Hasegawa. She gives out a load of Spec Ops missions in the games and a load of, like, kill X amount of zombies without getting hit for points, etc, etc. This is one of the ones, unfortunately, you can't skip, and Akiyama's second chapter is also, unfortunately, one that has a lot of them. Hasegawa will basically show up for every protagonist or send a message every so often. During the actual game, during any percent, she's actually kind of useful. You can actually... She's probably the best source of money because you can get easy money sellable items off of her. And this is the DVD shop that Nikaido told us about. So, every time you go out into the infected zone and come back, or you do a mission, it gives you a results screen. And then it gives up a sometimes annoying save prompt. So again, looking out for time saves, or time losses with those. So we'll go down here, and another cutscene, skip quickly. There's a load of people who meet up here. We get a load of guns. In the main game, any percent as well, this is where you get your second pistol, obviously, which we're already using. We're using the best upgraded version of those pistols so that we do a lot more damage, have a lot more ammo, fire a lot faster, etc, etc. There would be a tutorial for equipping weapons and then how to use partner actions with Nagahammer in a second and how to heal your partners. Mostly won't be useful in New Game Plus, but is still useful for certain parts. So now we're going to get out. And again, there will be a tutorial here, but again, because New Game Plus, we can skip that. So we've skipped about 15-20 minutes of tutorials so far, which is nice. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go back the way we came, and that's kind of a theme with this game. Now chat. We're going to need to have serious words at some point, alright? There's a little thing called creative liberty, right? Now, it's not plagiarism, alright? I don't want no words of plagiarism, but this game takes some creative liberties with some things. Again, we're skipping a tutorial here from any percent, that's why they're all grouped up there. But there are certain enemies in this game, like the lovely gentleman we're about to meet, that might look somewhat familiar to you, but I assure you they're not. I assure you they're really not. So as we go around this corner, we're going to meet one of these special infected. Because it's got a meathead. It's not a tank. It's not a tank. You can only kill it by shooting it in the head. And then I'll block this barrel to hopefully kill the rest of the zombies. You have to kill all of the zombies to move on with this part. Okay, that's fine. And then we can move on. It's not a tank. Alright, then. It's not a tank. It's fine. It's fine. So, down here is this... There's an area based off of this next section called the Subterranea. That is the big side quest that when you finish it completely for all 5 characters, and it is a slog. It is a randomly generated dungeon that has the exact same layout as this, and it's not good. It's not good in the slightest. But this one for Akiyama, and when we will return here in a tiny bit, is the exact same layout both times. When you go to the actual Subterranea, which we don't in the run or in New Game Plus, it's completely random, and there's about 110 floors you have to complete in total, and it's not good. It's not fun. it's good farming points, but it's not great. Now, there's not... We meet totally not a smoker. No. I tell you what we won't meet either. We totally won't meet not a witch. That's definitely not a witch. It's a crybaby. They scream and call zombies forth. Not a witch. Not a witch. So you saw I got some scrap iron there. Every time you kill a special infected, and sometimes when you kill normal zombies, you'll find some craftable materials. These are obviously a lot more useful in any percent, because in any percent we have to actually upgrade our guns and stuff, and there are certain guns that I will upgrade. For Akiyama, when you get Akiyama's guns, when you get his second gun, you also get a stronger pistol, which is like a deagle, and you also get a submachine gun. If you think that's the height of creativity, just you wait. Just you wait. You're in for a treat with this run. But if you can hear that slight buzz that's just started, I do apologise. My capture card lately has been a little weird. It does disappear after a tiny bit. So now we've made it out of the infected zone. Now we're back into normal Kamurocho, as it normally happens, as it normally works in a Yakuza game. You could go bowling if you wanted, you could go play baseball if you wanted, you could go eat. If you were on a harder difficulty setting, we would be going to eat quite a lot. If you're wondering why I decided on easy, it's because it makes some of the boss 1 cycles a lot easier. On the hardest difficulty setting, boss 1 cycles don't exist in the slightest, and they take a lot longer. And QTEs, you have half a second to react to them. And the end of the game is a QTE. It's a little ridiculous. Oh, and the fact that you can get one shot many, many times, even when you are like level 70, 80. I was trying my hardest to get a hardest difficulty save ready for this, because it actually allows us to get an infinite ammo rocket launcher. Also, very quickly, the mission point is behind us, but I'm going this way for a specific reason. This is Kamiyama. He is the gun mod. He mods your guns. You see him standing here next to his truck. If you go towards the actual point of the storyline, he's over there as well. This guy's in 2 places at once. That's cheating. And there's no way past him, unfortunately. And again, this is one of the tutorials that for some reason you can't actually skip. Even though I have the most modded weapons for default weapons for all the characters. So he basically grants us access to a hideout where we can save the game, move items and stuff like that. And then he goes, you know, I could do a little cash to upgrade your guns, you know? And we're like, no, we've got good guns. Get out of here. But if we were any percent that guy, he would be our best friend. We'd also be buying a lot of ammo from him at points. But Akiyama's default weapon, his dual pistols, the Elises, which are the strongest ones, they have infinite ammo. All of his versions have infinite ammo. All the characters have a default pistol, which has infinite ammo. But again, they're not that good. And guess who's back? Unfortunately. Hi! So here comes another tutorial. Again, this one we can't skip. And this is a shame that we can't skip this one, because this one's a bit costly. Millennium Tower, everybody. If you're familiar with the Yakuza series, the Millennium Tower, it usually blows up. It usually explodes in some various form or fashion. It usually at the end of the game, sometimes in the middle of the game. It's a very important landmark in the actual Yakuza series. This tutorial is teaching us about going in and out of the quarantine zone. Unfortunately, we have to go all the way in and then all the way out again, back to the same place that we were just before. She gives us a healing item. We don't really need it. She does stand there, and it actually forces you to go in. There's not invisible walls, but the game actually forces you back in every time you try and leave. Which is a bit ridiculous. I have not found a way to do that. This game does a good job of keeping you inbounds, but that's not to say there isn't any speed tech. There is movement tech, but it's on the nigh impossible side to pull off coherently and consistently. If you're pushed up against a wall and you have a bunch of zombies next to you, the game's collision goes a bit weird and it doesn't know where to place you. So the game at that point forces you forward. Like, it just thrusts you forward and kind of teleports you forward. Unfortunately, as you could probably guess, that doesn't happen very often, or you have to expose yourself to, like, bad situations. So most of the time, it's a lot quicker to just run forward. So all we have to do is head to Theatre Square. If this was any percent, you will see in a second. I mentioned about item drops. In any percent, you want to hope for some specific item drops, but there are some set item drops. There's one on the corner of the Club Sega in a second here. You'll see it there on the left. That is always a set spawn of an anime figure. Yes, an anime figure. Kamiyama buys those anime figures for 50,000 a pop, and if you get the rare version, 150,000 a pop, which in any percent, that pretty much gets rid of most of your money troubles. So in any percent, we'd be going and grabbing all of those if we could possibly get them, but sometimes they're too far out of the way. And again, we have to backtrack back. There is no fast travel. Well, that's a slight lie. There are taxis, like the other Yakuza games. If you ever played a Yakuza game, you know about there's a taxi system. There's taxis available in certain parts of the city. And as you can probably guess by the fact that the infection zone is here, it's gonna spread. And by the end of the game, there's only a single taxi remaining that can only take you to either the fishing pier or the golf club. Because, yeah, sure. No, I'd rather go fishing and golfing in a zombie apocalypse, sure. But yeah, once we get outside, we can carry on with the main storyline for a tiny bit longer. Yeah, unfortunately, I've got legacy chat at the moment, which is nice, but unfortunately, yeah. Cheese Yakuza Zero shooting the money go with the slime gun. Good. The slime gun is hilarious. The slime gun, because this version of Yakuza is very different to the others. And as a quick note, if you've ever played the game Binary Domain, this game is by the same developers. I wanted to have a run of Binary Domain ready for this Shots Fired, but unfortunately I ran out of time. I was having big PC problems. I will make this promise now, though, that if there is another Shots Fired, I will get a Binary Domain run going for that, because Binary Domain is fantastic. Binary Domain is amazing. So now we can finally go over, and again, there's no fast travel over there, so we're going to have to run over. But in Japan, this came out before Binary Domain. In the West, this came out after Binary Domain. And Binary Domain is the better shooter. They learnt their lessons from this game and took them over to Binary Domain. So when this came out in the West, parts of this game feel archaic, and to be honest, it's not great. Not gonna lie, it's not a great game. But you know, it is what it is. It's still got that Yakuza cheese. Here's Dokimoto's clinic. You can tell because it's an anime doctor clinic, apparently. And by the anime sign, we treat anime here in this game as sure as heck anime. Dokimoto's not here. Here's somebody just randomly washing the office, and she gives us some medicine for our assistant. Thank you very much. Dokimoto is actually in the infected zone. He's actually on the wall when we met Nagahama. You can actually go to him as a side mission. Side missions in this... Okay, if there's two good things that Yakuza Dead Souls did. One, it puts side missions on the map. This is the first actual Yakuza game that actually puts side missions on the map. I will praise it for that. You will not hear me praise Dead Souls a lot, because I'm not fond of this game. But speaking of actual long-term Yakuza stuff, here's Gary Buster Holmes. God, Gary's been around since the OG Yakuza 1. Used to be fighting in Kage's Underground Coliseum, but in this game, he's a drill instructor who kidnaps us and takes us to the other side of town, away from the actual objective point. Thanks, Gary. He trains up your partners in this game, and unfortunately we're forced to actually do one of his tutorials, but this is the last of the tutorials that we're actually forced to do. No, Majima Everywhere system is only Kiwami. Kiwami 1. So, because we have to choose one to do, we'll do field combat, because we can run and shoot in this one. This is where we can, just do these to get, quick experience for our partners and stuff. And actually what we're gonna do, instead of do Gary's actual training, we're just gonna say no. Sorry, Gary. And Gary is gonna voice his pleasure in us doing that. Thank you very much. And now we're gonna leave. Gary's not impressed. But it's fine. And remember when I said there isn't fast travel? Actually, this is the one point where the game asks you if you would like to go back to the actual story point. Thank goodness, because we are literally on the other side of the map and have to walk around the quarantine zone. Thank you for this. Why we can't have this in the rest of the game, I don't know. But hey. Good luck, Gary. So now we're going to get on with the actual game. We're going to go back and deliver the medicine to our assistant. And it's actually weird, because some of the story choices, like this one, sometimes they go from the top one to the bottom one, like that. So if you're actually spamming the confirm button, you will actually waste about 5 seconds, because then you have to go through all the dialogue again. Wonderful game. But this is the exact same underground map that we went through on the way here, so we just have to retrace our steps. But fortunately, when we come out the other side, we're a lot closer to New Serena than we were earlier. And the crybaby's still there. She'll still summon some zombies and get in our way. So again, we're just following the way back. Some of the zombie spawns are a little different. In the Subterranea version of this, all these like little doors on the side, they can spawn from all of them. Again, not a tank. Not a tank. I'm hoping for good placement for this next one because he is right in the way. Ah, you aren't in a good place. Okay, made that work. I was lucky. You've probably seen a few of these exclamation points around as I'm going around. Those are heat action points. In the traditional Yakuza games, you build up your heat bar, which is below the orange bar. You'll see the 3 segments of it. These allow us to do heat actions. In the usual Yakuza games, they allow you to do devastating moves and stuff. These do QTEs for like big explosions and stuff, just like mass zombie killing moves. I'll be using them in a few places, and there'll be 1 or 2 bosses that I'll need to use them on as well. You'll see those as we come along, and of course, like I said, the end of the game. But we'll get to that in due time. So again, there's some unnecessary barricades around that we unfortunately have to walk around. It's kind of a pain in the backside. There's just a lot of normal zombies about in the moment. I accidentally rolled a little too early there. And one of the spawn points for this alleyway is right here. Letting that zombie come forward a little bit helps so that his hitbox that lingers when you kill him doesn't get in the way. If this was any percent, I'd be picking up one of these obstacles to use against these zombies that spawn. And even though it looks like you can fit in that gap there's actually an invisible barrier. It's a pain in the backside. And so now we're going back to Noose Arena. We've managed to arrive here, and actually, the place is a little more destroyed than we left it. And our assistant isn't actually here. Instead, we have 2 lovely zombies. So, as I said earlier, aiming down the sights is a lot quicker, and these have slightly higher resistance for some reason. The very first ability that you learn in the game, and the game forces you to learn it for a tutorial, is a thing called head tracking, where whenever you use the third-person aiming like that, it will automatically track their head. The next upgrade that you can get allows you to track them for a tiny bit longer. So I obviously have both of those, which is pretty good. It tracks it for about a second or 2 seconds. It's useful in a lot of places. Obviously for the meatheads, it's very useful because you can only damage them in their face. But genuinely, the auto-aim will get you quite far in this. Sometimes there'll be phone conversations like that, like I said, with the double black bars, but actually you can skip those ones, but you can't skip the others when you're not on a phone. So now we're gonna go, now we have to go, that was our assistant who gave us a phone call, says that she's gone and hidden out in the Oriental building. The quickest way to get down there is through the underground parking lot, which was introduced in Yakuza 4, actually. Now, chat, remember the old creativity thing? Remember the old creativity thing? This is a monkey boy. Definitely not a jockey. Yeah, yes, it's actually called a monkey boy. I don't know why. Probably because it sounds like a monkey. And it jumps. It's got rollerblades and a helmet, and I don't know. I don't know. If this was any percent, I'd be using my heat action on there. And if it was any percent, I'd be grabbing some submachine gun ammo from those boxes there. So again, most of this place is blocked off by annoying barricades, so we're just going to go around. Another meathead over there. So we come up to this bit here where there's a load of SDF soldiers who got attacked by the zombies. And you'll see here that, oh hey, here's a truck with a mounted gun on it. It'd be a good idea to use that, right? No. No, let's just move forward. There's the crybaby over there. And yeah, let's just ignore all of that. And now we're in the sewers. These are also introduced in Yakuza 4. Obviously, if it was canon, it would be after Yakuza 4, obviously. So if you're used to like the layout of the map from Yakuza 4, It mixes it up a bit in the infected zones, but it's mostly the same. Original enemy character, do not steal. If this was any percent, again, there is a Molotov right here. We would pick it up and throw it at that large group of zombies. But instead we're going to shoot down these barricades. Go into third person and make that a little quicker. So as you've probably seen at this point, this is not your typical Yakuza game. It's not your typical third-person action-adventure like your Yakuza Zeros to Yakuza's Kiwamis, etc. It still has the same Yakuza cheese. Gary, for instance, when you do side quests and find partners, he'll come out from a variety of strange and wonderful places, like one point he'll scale a building to come and talk to you and steal your partner away. It's got that wonderful cheese that the series is known for, thankfully. So we get to the Oriental building, and two problems. The front of it is destroyed, and there's also an infinite spawning pack of zombies. Don't you just hate that? So, Nagahammer is also here, and we're going to take the smart decision, and we're going to run. And they wouldn't put anything in your way, right? Uh-huh. Hi. And again, you can see that his hitbox lingers a bit, unfortunately. And again, like I said, because he's a partner, you don't need them next to you. You can just actually just like head down to the next area and the game will catch up. So remember when we could go down these stairs on the right? Yeah, about that. For some reason, it's blocked off. Why? Don't know. Who did that? Don't know. Next time you come here, it's not blocked off. That zombie that's in the doorway there is a pain in the backside because he can push you and knock you back. The monkey boy is trying to grab us, like a jockey does. But, you know, he's not a jockey. So this is a dead end. You hear a giant explosion. Not quite sure of what causes this, but a giant hole in the floor has appeared, which we can use to go into that room that was literally just next to us. A load of zombies come up the floor, but we can just go down. If this was any percent, there is a nice convenient chainsaw nearby that actually like goes through the enemies quite quickly. So this is the 50th Crybaby that I've actually killed on this New Game Plus file. And that's where the stairs got blocked off. So unfortunately, for some reason, the game decided to block us off from doing that so that it would extend it. This next bit is a pain in the backside. There's a big... You remember the big entrance that we went through with Hasegawa? We have to go to the right-hand side of that instead. And we have to get across all of it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of zombies in the way. Again, if it's any percent, we grab some ammo there. I can show off. Do I have it? I don't have it equipped. Also, if your partners get grabbed, if you do a cutscene like that, and I should tell him to back me up so that he sticks reasonably close to me so that he doesn't get grabbed. There's a very quick cutscene like trigger we can hit here. Hopefully if he sticks close enough and doesn't get grabbed. Usually you have to go all the way to the end of this, but if you're about here, and there aren't any zombies nearby, I believe. Nice. You get the cutscene a little bit early, like 15-20 seconds early. Which is actually kind of useful. So that's the end of this chapter for Akiyama, and now we've got one more. It's much like if you played again any of the other Yakuza games, 4 or 5, etc., you'll know that they're split up between different parts, and it's always comprised of 4 chapters. It's the same here, where every character has 4 chapters, apart from the final character, who gets the finale all to themselves as well. Which you think is cheating, but when you see who it is, doesn't matter. They've earned it. Right, so, for this final one, we're going to a very special, like, kind of, like, a place that we won't go to, obviously, again, the Oriental building. The nice thing is, this last chapter starts you right next to it. So, we can just, well, I say we can just go straight to it, but we have to get through a little bit of, again, another NPC dialogue. The guy who's about to talk to us is Kine. He's the guy who manages the Subterranea. He's the guy who tells you about the underground procedure generated, blah blah blah. You have to do if you want to do the side thing to get the best weapon in the game. Oh, actually, it starts you at the top right of the map. But actually, this cutscene skip lets you go over there, which is nice. Cheers, Seraph. Appreciate the luck. So this is where the Oriental building is. It's for some reason it's an infected building, like right there, even though we're inside the safe zone. Who knows? And basically, Nagahama says, "If you've got anything left to do, do it now." The game gives you certain like points where it will say outright, "Hey, this is it. This is your last chance to do it with this character. Make sure you do it." So he saw us come out of the sewers with a shady-looking character. Both look over the Nagahama. So yeah, he tells us all about the Subterranea. You have to do it twice for each character, apart from the last character, who only has to do it once, and then a big giant boss in that character. And Hasegawa will again say there's some shops you can go and save inside the quarantine zone. If you save some of the shops inside the quarantine zone, you actually unlock the ability to just use them like you normally would. Like food places like Club Sega, where, again, you've got UFO catching machines, etc. This series is really good for its minigames as well. For instance, Yakuza 0 has a Space Harrier. And I think Super Outrun. Whoops, didn't mean to bullseye. For this part, you want to kill all of the zombies. I won't let you go forward without killing all of them, so... Again, because there's a monkey boy, we're going to go into third person. Okay, 2 crawlers is not good. I missed every shot, but they die after a while, so it's fine. So then that barricade disappears, and we go forward. If this was any percent, there is a healing item on our right next to this zombie, and an anime figure behind us. Just gonna trigger the lift real quick. The lift doesn't have any power, so what we can do, or what we have to do, is go down here. Please don't get in my way, sir. Thank you. Trigger this. A meathead breaks through the wall, but... Oh, also, this game has really bad controls. I don't think I mentioned that. The aiming for this is on L2, and then it changes to the left stick. Auto fire is R1. It's weird. You can hold L1 to kind of do this strafing motion. Again, most of the time we'll just be using the auto fire because it's a lot more accurate than trying to manually aim. Again, we have to kill all the enemies, and we got a monkey boy and a meathead. Uh-oh. And yeah, like I said, not a jockey. Not a jockey. Is Miku in this game? No. One of the Yakuza games has a downloadable DLC costume for one of the characters as Miku. I think that's actually Yakuza 5. So, now we've reached the top of the Oriental building. We find our assistant hiding in a comedic situation inside of a locker. And we're going to have another creative moment, chat. Just, again, we come up to our first real boss fight. Now, listen, I don't know what that looks like to you, but, you know, it's fine. So, I want you all to figure out where its weak spot is. You will never guess. You will never guess. So, this boss has a 1 cycle. I will be trying to hit it. When it falls on its back, because that's definitely not its weak point on its belly. When it falls on its back, its weak point will be exposed, and then we can just go shoot it crazily. We have a small section to do a little bit of damage before he runs into us. Because of the small frame rate, sometimes you... Hello? I'm trying to get past you, sir. I'm cornered. That's cute. Because of the low frame rate, the game will sometimes eat your inputs. Oh, this is not going well. This is a bad fight. Also, the aiming, the sensitivity is all over the place. So in a second, we'll be able to... shoot his belly if possible. I'm at a bad angle and I can't get to a good angle. So I'm hoping for some lucky shots. Nice, we got the one cycle. Okay, that's lucky. No, definitely not a licker. No. Not a licker. If we missed out on the one cycle there, what it would have done is it would have done a different attack cycle where it would have done a forced cutscene and it goes up into the ceiling. And then it will play whack-a-mole, where it will keep bobbing its head up and down, and you have to shoot it out of the ceiling. It's not fun, and it's slow. You lose like 30 seconds to it. And that's the end of Akiyama. Remember what I said? This game did 2 things right. Here's the second thing it did right. This game is the first time in the series where you have playable Majima Goro. So at the end of Akiyama's chapter, they noticed that it looks like the zombies have actually been... like, they've got this little thing on their shoulder. It looks like they've been worked on or something. Majima here. He's having fun up in Millennium Tower just watching zombie movies, and then, oh hey, actual zombies. So as you can see, Majima uses a shotgun. It is not unlimited ammo. Who's alive? You. You want to be careful to try not to knock them down like that, because if you knock them down like that, they'll just sit on the floor for a few seconds and be annoying. So the nice thing is, Majima is awesome. And if you thought that the frame rate was bad before, it's going to get worse. Starting with this chapter, it gets worse. So, there's a boss at the end that you'll see that is going to destroy the frame rate. For now, Majima's noticed there's a zombie apocalypse, and he just wants to kill some zombies. You know, wants to fire some shots, kill some zombies, as you do. And it's the good old Majima as well. There's a rare zombie there that you just saw run past. Some of them are a very specific spawn. Okay. That zombie just stood right up. Nice. So notice that door that we just passed was closed. That will open up in a second. With no warning. That'll be the way that we have to go. But the game is forcing us to go a very specific route right now. Also, Majima's battle music. Pretty good. So in here, we find one of our subordinates. One of the Majima family members. He was the last one in here. He's hiding because, you know, zombies. We got a message from Hasegawa, do missions, blah blah blah. We've already seen this drill from Akiyama. So we're going to use this, and we're going to go grab all of the ammo. Because obviously, we don't have unlimited ammo, unfortunately. The thing I picked up I didn't want to pick up, it's a healing item for your partners if they go down. There's obviously healing items for you as well in there, the toughness Z's. Like, if you ever played a Yakuza game, they're still the same. But hopefully our partners will never go down. Hopefully. Chat, listen. Creativity, right? It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Uniqueness is wonderful. This isn't a boomer. It's called a fatty. It's actually called a fatty. When you kill it, it excretes bile that makes all of the zombies super aggro on you. That super aggro bile is actually what the enemies are on permanently on the hardest difficulty setting. They are hyper aggro, they will keep coming after you, etc. Yeah, it's not good. Ooh, high density polymer is a good drop. If this was any percent, I'd be happy. Nice meathead in the way. Nice, we didn't get hit. You want to be very careful not to get hit there. And there's a small time save we can do here coming up. We have to activate the lift to go downstairs. It takes a while to come up. There is a crybaby in front of us, not a witch. If we can stop her from calling in the zombies, then we can go straight into the lift. Very good, very good. If you don't actually kill her inside, she will summon zombies, and because there's like 4 pillars around there, some of the zombies can spawn behind the pillars, and that's just like a time waste. It's not great. So being able to kill her before she actually summons in any enemies is beautiful. So now we come down to the foyer, and guess what? Zombies. So have some more hype music. Because why not? Hello? Sir? Sir? Not sure why he wasn't aggroed, but alright. Again, being careful to try and make sure they're all dead rather than on the floor. I think one of these is probably going to be on the floor. You are. Cool. Sometimes you can have an enemy stuck behind that pillar on the right-hand side, which is a massive time loss because you spend the entire time searching for them and you can't find them. See a killing floor reference? Maybe. No guarantees. Definitely no guarantees. So, it's not the end of the first chapter for Majima yet. Got a little ways to go. In fact, we've got a boss fight to go. Now, remember when I said the frame rate struggles a little bit? Say hello to boss enemy, the frame rate. This guy has armor that we have to break. You'll never guess where his weak point is. And there isn't a theme going on with these weak points. You'll never guess where his weak point is. So, we're going to have to knock off some of the armor. I'm going to use slightly old strats because it's a tiny bit quicker. You can just shoot it, but if you get knocked over by this enemy, it's a bit rough. So there's a mini bus full of people. And this guy this lovely gentleman that you're about to meet, he just comes along and throws the mini bus full of people away. Such a shame. Such a shame. So here he is. He's a lovely fella. His exterior, his body is full of like rocks and stuff. He's the Onraki prototype. So I could shoot him. Or I could go over here, get in this tank and shoot him. He also grabs you out of it. I unfortunately hit his arm rather than his chest, which is a shame. Ow. And that messes up the frame rate as well. So, I was going to shoot him. Listen. Oh look, it's on his chest. So when you get enough of his health down, he will automatically shed the rest of his armor. He will become a lot more aggressive. A bit faster as well. Unfortunately, the head tracking works against us here because we don't want to attack his head. We want to attack his chest. If you can dodge at the right moment, you can dodge his attacks. Unfortunately, this... Yep. Okay, so I messed up the one cycle on this guy. If I didn't get hit there, I could have kept shooting his chest and stun locking him. At which point he wouldn't pick this up. Which he's going to try and shoot us with that. So let's just shoot it instead. Oh, I was that close to him, huh? That's a shame. So he goes down and then we can hit him. Obviously, Lisa hit his weak spot. He does not stay down long. Sir, do not pick... Sir? This is a bad fight. This is a very bad fight. Oh. Put that down, sir. Cool. So ideally you want, if you have any level ups, you ideally want your level ups to occur during gameplay like that. If they occur during the results screen, you're not actually able to do any inputs for like a good 5 seconds for some reason. So you can't like hit accept or carry on. And we have another lovely conversation that we can skip. Basically, Daigo Dojima, the 6th chairman of the Tojo clan, who Majima is the patriarch of the Majima family, obviously, and his big boss is Daigo Dojima. He's been spotted in Kamurocho Hills, which was Majima's big construction project on the northeast part of the city. And that's somebody basically phoning up and going, Majima, where the heck are you? So, we're going to go over there. I'm going to take some extra shotgun ammo. And again, the shotgun is great. It has great spread. It can just kill zombies from afar. It's actually wonderful. So again, creativity, right? This might actually be creative. This is an aggro. They aggro onto you. Funnily enough. They only aggro onto you if you get close to them or if you shoot them. our partners will be aggroing them throughout the game, which is annoying because they do not stop their aggro on you. Unlike normal zombies that can stop or get despawned sometimes, these guys will just keep coming at you. And they're very annoying in closed spaces where there's a few of them later on. Use that much ammo? Oh yes! Oh yes! We might not use that much, but we do use a heck of a lot. Lots of S's, lots of D's. Lovely. 97% accuracy on the auto-aim as well. That's beautiful. Thanks, game. I think that one shot I missed. So, as we said, we know that the 6th chairman is on Kamurocho Hills, so we're off. Now we have to walk over to the top east part of the map, because the taxi service on the other side of the map, which was at the top right of the map, has gone, because that's now an infected zone. Thank you, fast travel. Appreciate it. So unfortunately we've got to walk through the city. There is one specific place I won't be walking, because it's this weird little time loss. With the Yakuza games, if you've played the Yakuza games, you know they have a whole host of side activities. Baseball, bowling, hostess clubs. There is a specific point where I don't want to run here, and it's not marked on my minimap, where there'll be an introductory cutscene for one of the hostesses. So we're going to avoid that, because that's unskippable, and it will use up about 2 minutes of our time. Like a hunter. He drop kicks a lot. That's their main method of attack, is drop kick. So Kamiyama, you can see, has moved up here. You can see her just briefly on the right. If we were to cut through there, which obviously is quicker to walk through, that would get us into that cutscene. And we can't go over there, unfortunately. We have to go around to the other side. Whilst you see that the zone is cut off there, it's not been closed on this other side that we're going to. So we're going to go there. We're going to get shut in with the zombies, etc. And then we're going to carry on. You're going to see very briefly, in a second, a brand new zombie type. The most annoying zombie you've ever seen in existence. A Molotov zombie. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a zombie with a Molotov. And it throws it at you. With the most disgusting accuracy you've ever seen, because it will stun lock you if there is more than one of them. I'm not even joking. They are horrible. If you do this game on any difficulty above normal, you're going to get stun locked and died. There is a Subterranea layout where there is about 25 of them in a single room with explosive barrels. It's not fun. It is not fun. They are a big time waste, they are a big time loss, and they are annoying. Not my favourite, basically. I would do karaoke if I could, but unfortunately we are a little behind schedule. If I do this run well, I can save us about 15-20 minutes. So, unfortunately, while I would love to do some karaoke with Majima, unfortunately, don't have the time. So the nice thing about Molotov zombies, if you shoot them in time, they'll just drop the Molotov at their feet. It's still annoying because they will actually still be in your way. Special zombie comes from the right. Always a set spawn. Super hard aluminium alloy. That would enable me to upgrade one of my guns. Which one? I think that would be the next character's gun, actually. That's useful. That's actually very useful. That's a good drop. With those, you can get either the anime figure drops, or you can get materials, or if you're really unlucky, you can get a health item. The health items, obviously, they're useless. Like, you can get health items everywhere in this game. You can buy health items, etc. So if you get a health item drop from one of those, especially in any percent, you're really unlucky. Go overestimate. I wish I could. So I want to shoot these to try and aggro as many of these zombies as I can. We have to kill all of these before we're allowed forward. We found that there are actual civilians inside, so we're doing this to save them. That was reasonably good, actually. None of the zombies that actually got knocked to the ground, weren't dead, which is nice. That's one of the points where there's like quite a lot bunched together, and because of the spread of the shotgun, it can just push zombies down instead of killing them. So that was actually pretty useful. Oh, yeah. Any karaoke with Majima is brilliant. So we're heading for the rear entrance now. Because we can't go in the front entrance because they're trying to build a barricade. So we're off to the rear. Oh look, a Molotov zombie at the top of the stairs. He has bad aim, that one. But the Molotov zombies in the Subterranea have the most amazing aim you'll ever see. Ah, we found the rear entrance. A lot of this game is nice because you can just run point to point. Sometimes you can't, as you'll see in this next part. But yeah, the one good thing about this game that they did, playable Majima. Majima's as Majima as he ever is. He's in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and you know Majima. He loves it. He absolutely loves this. Like, it's great. So, we're going to go up here, and we're going to go find out if Daigo's here. The great thing is, Daigo is an important character in the series. Rose to fame in Yakuza 2. I won't say too much, because Yakuza 2 is getting a remake. Yakuza Kiwami 2, coming out in Japan at the start of December. We're secretly hoping for an English announcement at PSX, please, Sega, because you've always announced your Yakuza games at PSX. Every PSX? Please? But yeah, it's a full-on remake of Yakuza 2 from the PS2, which is my favourite Yakuza game in the mainline series. It is fantastic. So here's the guy who called us Azumi, and he's angry that we weren't anywhere, and... Oh, hey, Daigo. How you doing? What's up, boss? So... Here's some plots. There's some plot dumping. Basically, Daigo believes that it's the Omi Alliance. The Omi Alliance, the big Yakuza over in Osaka. And we've been given a photo of a certain somebody. The Omi Man, which in this case is reference Ryuji Goda. Now, Ryuji Goda was an Omi Man in Yakuza 2. Again, not going to go into details because that's getting the remake. And basically... Because this is a non-canon spin-off, they can do whatever the heck they like. Also, chat, there's a specific emote you might spam in a second. Please try not to spam it too much. You might have one in mind. I don't know which. But it's going to get a little noisy for a second. But basically, we believe at this moment that the Omi are trying to make a move on Kamurocho, like they always do. They're trying to hustle in on Kamurocho by setting loose a zombie apocalypse. Now, I don't understand either, but... happens. So we have to eliminate the intruders. Yeah, there's a baby... There's a baby crying. And Hasagawa's going to tell us usefully about some shops that are open. I'm going to tell Daigo to attack zombies. These aren't the ones that we have to kill. So we're going to keep going over here. This room has a monkey boy in it, which... Good, they got knocked down. So starting from, I believe, here are the zombies that we have to kill. There's a load down here. Including that monkey boy, which tried to jump in. Daigo's managed to get himself trapped, which is nice. Good. That was a very good clear. Okay, stop baby raging now. It's over. That's a big baby. What the heck? Yeah, that thing was making a lot of noise. Fortunately, that's finished. Now we can go. This time we do have to kill all the zombies, so I'm going to be a little careful and make sure that I get up close and miss, thank you, Auto-Aim, to make sure that they actually die. Because if you miss any zombies here and you have to come back for them, it's the most oh, hello. It's the most time-consuming thing. And yes, if you're around any particle effects like the fatty, I almost said boomer there. No idea why I almost said boomer. If you're around any big particle effects like that, the game just doesn't know how to handle it. Sometimes your partners will tell you, hey, let's do a partner action together, like Daigo did. There's someone behind us. Ooh. Someone else behind us. That's a bad silence. I think they just spawned in as well. There's an aggro. There goes the aggro. Nice. And because we're right here, we're right by the actual checkpoint bit, so it just randomly loads us in. Got a bit of a sad rank there. Sorry, I won't do that again. Gotta make our own humor here, unfortunately. So here comes a dumb bit. So Daigo decides, you know, we're gonna build the barricade up to protect the people inside. That's not dumb. What's dumb is this barricade takes damage over time, even when there aren't zombies attacking it. That's what you call good game design. I don't know why. Like, I'll show you. But we have to protect the barricade by killing all the zombies around it. Oh, by the way, you can shoot the barricade, so be very careful. So you can see it's got full health. Let's go and look at it for a second. Did you see it just go down? I don't see any zombies. I definitely didn't attack it. Some zombies here. I went down again. I don't see any zombies. So, there's a weird bit. There's two zombie spawns. One there, and one on the top of that truck. So we might as well just stay here and wait, because you can't speed this bit up, unfortunately. There's no zombies. Not tied to reloads, is it? Nope, it's not tied to reloads. Just randomly the barricade that you have to defend is just going to take damage, because, sure. And as you saw there, that's something that I was going to bring up in a tiny bit. That zombie didn't take any damage. If you're wondering why that is, zombies who have animation when they're, like, coming in, like this guy spawning here, he can't actually take damage until he's fully spawned in. This will come again in a timed segment later on. Like, this barricade is half dead, and there's been no zombies. Like, you can imagine that on one of the harder difficulty settings, practically one hit destroys the barricade. Yeah. It's not exactly a hard thing. So in this cutscene, Majima gets bit. Majima has unfortunately gotten bitten by a zombie, and some buck-strong Yakuza decide, hey, we'll help you out, boss, by driving a truck through the entrance and letting all the zombies in. The Yakuza, they're, not a bright lot. So, guess who's back? The Aharabaki Prototype A. Few new tricks, extendo arms, and, invisibility. Where's he gone? I have no idea. Where is he? I can't tell. Literally invisible. Literally invisible. His weak point on his chest certainly isn't glowing or anything. So we take him out, and unfortunately, the lovely Yakuza who led all the zombies in, they're now dead, obviously, because it wasn't exactly the smartest of decisions, let's be honest. We're a little trapped. Zombie swarms coming in. There's a homeless guy pops out of a manhole cover and tells us to go down there with him. This lovely homeless man. So, he's telling us to go to Purgatory. Purgatory, again, is another one of these places in the Yakuza series. It's been around since its inception. It's a place in an abandoned subway underground that got flooded. I'm going to take some ammo here. It should be more than enough ammo than I need, but I'm going to tell Daigo specifically to back me up so that he doesn't aggro too many things. I was hoping... That's a flamethrower on the floor, by the way. They're not that great. Useful, kind of, in 80%. But that aggro is going to go and fight Daigo probably now. Which is why I'm hoping it'll back us up. Oh, hey, Molotov zombie. Spreading his fire all over the place. being a general pain in the backside. One invisibility right there, yup. Please don't aggro. I'd rather not have too many aggro onto me. See how there's no zombies here? Oh no, there's zombies here. So we have to clear all of the zombies out from here, and there are some that spawn in as well that we also have to kill. In set places. I'm gonna shoot this oil drum to kill like a load of them that are congregating by the barricade right now. It's a tiny bit slow, but it drags some of the zombies together. So you can see there's a fatty, there's an aggro, there's Monkey Boy. We just have to kill all of them. And that aggro did walk after us. The homeless guy is here. Taking the aggro for us, I appreciate it. Don't know where Daigo got off to. One more? Yep. So again, that's another annoying section because they can hide behind pillars and stuff, and again, it's just like, if they hide behind a pillar and you don't properly go after them, then you're not going to be able to, like, get to the next bit. It's always a set amount of zombies that are there and that spawn, and you have to take care of all of them. It's a shame, but oh well. So now we're in Purgatory. Purgatory, if you've not played the Yakuza games before, is a place for the rich. It's very lavish and has, you know, certain themes to it. There's a casino in here. Good old underground casino. It's got 3 different types of poker. Texas Hold'em, Omaha, and Pineapple. I've never even played Pineapple poker in my life, but pretty cool that it's included. Some stuff like blackjack, roulette, etc. And an underground coliseum that is in every single Yakuza game except this one. Because how do you do a coliseum in an endless zombie shooter? The whole game is the coliseum. This is a side quest. This man is selling zombie serum. Which, you know, it's an obvious ploy. But poor old Majima, who just got bit, he's starting to feel it. And we're gonna meet... Is it here or is it in a bit? Oh, it's in a bit, actually. I lied. It's not yet. We're going to meet Kage now. Kage is the florist. His name actually isn't the florist. It's actually... I think it's the florist Asai or whatever. The way they translated it in Yakuza Kiwami 1, which came out this year, is correct. In Yakuza 1, the original, when they called him the florist, apparently they just made up a name for him. Which is kind of weird. There's an interesting Reddit AMA from earlier this year where they talked a bit about the there's Ryuji Goto on the left, by the way. The guy on the right is Nikaido, who was his right hand man. Is still in the Omi Alliance. And Daigo is telling Majima back down, don't do anything. You can probably tell how that's going to go. This is his final chapter. But yeah, the florist, his name isn't the florist. I think in the AMA they said literally that they just came up with a name for him in the game, which, like there was some interesting like comments about the translation choices, which I won't go into too many details about, but it's a curious one. It's a nice look at it. This series is brilliant. Like, anyone who's played this series, like, if you find someone who loves this series like I do and like many people do, you'll get loads of praise. Also, here's Akiyama. Akiyama's just gonna whisper sweet nothings into our ear and say, hey, you wanna go play some baseball? Majima's just like, no, I can't. Daigo told me no. He says, of course I'm kidding, I'm coming along. So let's go and play some baseball. This is non-canon, remember? This is non-canon, remember? So there's every chance that he could be infected. I think originally this game was supposed to be canon. When they first, like, showed it off. When they first started revealing it, they showed, like, scans of, like, Kamurocho in ruins about the zombies. And they, like, obviously they called it, like, destruction was the keyword. And they called it the end. Which, obviously, the Japanese name for it is Ryuga Gotoku of the End. Which... obviously, that's a play, which, you know what that's a play of. So that's why the end came about. But obviously it never did stop the series, because after that we got 5, we got 0, 6. Japan also got Ishin, which is a very good game. You'd play some baseball? Zombie baseball? Heck yes. Funnily enough, in this game, if you go fishing, you can get some special zombie-related goodness. Not going to spoil what, in case you want to play this game for whatever reason. I love this series, but this is the one that most people, they're not fans of, for good reasons. There is a side quest there that we're going to try and ignore, which is good. Again, you can see it on the map of the question mark. Again, this is the first game in the series that actually did the side missions on the map, which is brilliant. And there's Akiyama. Nicely, this one is right next to here. We don't have to camera trick to get rid of people there. Most of the time, it's kind of useful. So we're going to go into the batting center. We're going to go and see, because apparently Nikaido was here. So we're making our move. And, you know, we're just here to play some baseball, have some fun, see a guy about a zombie apocalypse, and, well, things get a little, you know. This is the Tsuchikumo prototype. It was hanging out on the ceiling the whole time. You'll never guess where a 3-point is. Well, I got a hit on it there, that's pretty good. So, that was a good dodge. So it's going to do this, I'm going to specifically wait so we can heat action it. Hello, game? Don't allow me to do the thing that stops him from doing that then. So when it loses a certain amount of health, it goes into its third to last health bar. It's going to chase Akiyama, and we're just going to try and stop it. And then, if we can kill it quickly, we can one-cycle it real quick. We've got a good shot of its weak point. I'm not sure if I'll have the time, because I've got to reload. Oh boy. Hello. Okay, good. Best QTE in the game. Let's play baseball. Fairly certain that's how a grenade works. See, like I said, it still has that Yakuza charm to it. So, he's now dead, which is nice. Nikaido does turn up with a dude with him that we don't know who they are. Oh, don't worry, that's not the last good QTE you'll see in this run. Just wait till the end. Just wait till the end. There's a good one coming, but that's an amazing one. Even better, if you fail that QTE, the cutscene that happens is amazing. Like, it's one of the best cutscenes I've ever seen in my life. It's actually brilliant. So unfortunately, there are some points where there's a lot of cutscenes, and obviously, the load times being a PS3 game aren't the greatest. I am on an SSD on my PS3 as well. So, unfortunately, they're not getting any lower. So, here come zombies. They're in trouble, and they get saved by a mysterious man with a minigun for an arm. Ex-Omi Alliance member Ryuji Goda. The one who we're looking for in regards to this zombie outbreak, funnily enough. So again, all the items and abilities are shared between all of the characters, which is nice. So again, anything that you've got goes over to the next character. So I'm not, again, because of the whole Yakuza 2 remake, more people are going to be able to get their hands on the game. I'm not going to go into like the entirety of Ryuji's backstory, but at some non-canonical point, He doesn't have his arm anymore. Don't actually understand how that happened. I don't think the game actually says. Instead, he's changed it to an arm that is robotic and can turn into a minigun. As you do. Let's shoot some zombies. Thing of beauty. Absolute thing of beauty, that. So yeah, this is obviously again the fully upgraded version because we're New Game Plus. It holds 80 bullets. It fires very, very fast. Again, fires faster when you're holding down the sight. Does a lot of damage. Now, I have to warn you about this chapter. This chapter is probably the longest chapter in the game. It's not good, and it has one of the most baffling game design decisions I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I can't skip it, which is great. There are a few escort quests in this, which is unfortunate because they're a bit finicky. We'll get to those as we get to them. And there's a puzzle section that is literally going to make you question why. Just why? So, in these cutscenes, Ryuji basically says that Nikaido came along and said to him, hey, do you want to rule the Yomi Alliance again? And Ryuji's just like, no, I'm making takoyaki, get out of here. Since the non-canonical events of Yakuza 2, Ryuji has begun making takoyaki with a guy he calls Pops. Not his actual old man, but just a guy he calls Pops. His Pops has gone missing in the zombie invasion, as you do. And Ryuji is looking for him and Nikaido to understand why Nikaido is doing what he's doing and what the heck is going on. Which one of you is alive? Okay. So unfortunately we have to help this guy here. I've tried running past him. Goda has a conscience and doesn't let him die, unfortunately. Which one of you is alive? None of them. Good. Sometimes that's the one I'm usually used to having one fall down and not be dead on. So this guy's gonna go, zombies! And there's a baseball launcher. It's like it's a turret that uses baseballs, because why not? But we're gonna ignore that and go ahead. Now, if there is a character we need a lot of ammo on, it's Ryuji Goda. This eats ammo. A lot of ammo. Also, as you can see, when you fire it, the frame rate starts to go. What a good game. So we're going to take all of the Gatling gun ammo. And this is the office where Nikaido was. So we're going to go and see if he's at home. Obviously, he's in the infected zone. And, hey, zombies. Oh no, that aggro's alive. Whoa, hey dude. So we're going to go into the office here. And, oh hey, there's zombies. So we're just going to take care of the zombies. As per usual. Also, the camera does not like being in small spaces in this game. Use a live. So as you can probably guess, Nikaido isn't here. But what is here is a map of all the Tojo Yakuza offices in the city. All of them have an X on them apart from one of them, which is outside of the infection zone. So we need to go there and find out what's going on. Because again, we're still chasing down Nikaido to see what's going on. Unfortunately, the rest of the chapter is a bit of a slog. It is a bit awful. It is very, very awful. So, you can see that this area, where Majima left before, has now been broken open, somehow. Something's just forced its way through the wall. It's useful for us, because we can use it as a shortcut. Although we actually have to go this way. And we find some more SDF soldiers who are struggling against zombies. Aim for the head, lad. That's how you deal with zombies. Have you not watched horror movies? So we're gonna take care of all these zombies. Hopefully that's all of them. It is. Yeah, the game does have like really cool animations, and it also has really good music as well, actually. The music all the way through the finale is amazing. So there's a load of zombies here. We've got to take these guys through. Unfortunately, we have to kill all of the zombies in this area, and there is multiple spawns of zombies. And they will spawn behind us as well, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Nothing we can do about it. So I'm just going to go over here to where they will stop spawning. Take care of all of them first and then come back. And because we have the... Oh, nice. If we can take care of the crybabies, that'll stop them spawning in, which is good. Did you not hit him? Nice. Sometimes zombies can spawn in here, so I'm just going to double check. I think we're good. There's a bulldozer over there. We could use that, but obviously it's a little bit slow. And you can see we're almost running out of ammo again. Now we've got zombies spawning in. And you can see that one in the far back. There's always one like right at the back that's a pain in the backside. Some of these are still alive. A lot of them actually. You alive? Nope. Okay, good. That actually wasn't too bad of a clear, actually. Sometimes you can get a little delayed, because again, they can spawn inside of the theater there, which is a pain in the backside, because you have to go inside. I tried Nightmare Mode. If you mean in the Western version, it's Dead Souls difficulty. Yes, I have. I was trying to set a save up for this. It is awful. It is actually awful. So I'm going to resupply from this truck. Nice. And again, this isn't enough ammo. This probably isn't even enough ammo for the rest of this chapter. But again, shots fired, you know? So. Ryuji has the great idea for the end of this chapter. The easiest way to get past the barricade is to blow the barricade up. How are we going to do that? You've already seen it. You saw it earlier with Majima. It is, of course, the tank. So, unfortunately, this is the horrible part of this chapter. It's the most bizarre and baffling. There's unfortunately no way to get through this barricade early. I had the idea that maybe the infinite ammo rocket launcher as a reward could get through, but unfortunately it doesn't. So, despite the fact that there was ammo in here, there's no ammo now. So we have to resupply the tank. Exactly, like if you want the definition of shots fired, here's shots fired. I appreciate that this isn't going to be a speedrun for everybody, because there's not like many traditional tricks like out of bounds or glitches and skips. Oh hey, here's a new enemy, it's called a Diptera. They fly, and they definitely don't do other traits of other enemies from a certain Left 4 Dead, like spit at you. Oh, you're alive. I should have killed you. Hello? So they do spit, unfortunately. So, make a note of this part. Make a note of this thin gap in the containers. We'll be back here a few times. This bit's going to play a vital role in the bizarre ending. And here's another new enemy called a Hornet. I believe... Hello, thank you. They're weak to fire. The quickest way to kill this one is to do the QTE on this guy here. It just kills him straight away. You can break their outer shell. If this was any percent, we'd obviously be going for that. But they were apparently like live-ins who basically lived in so long that in the zombie apocalypse became hardened in rock and became those, and they roll around a lot. I don't understand, but lore. And this is the nasty part. This is where all the escort stuff that I was talking about comes in. Unfortunately, there's no way to skip any of this either. If there is, I would love to know, because this is about 10 minutes of awfulness. We have to rescue the civilians. The tank shells are right there. We have to kill all the enemies down here, so I'm going to move ahead to kill these ones so that they don't... There we go. Cool. And now we have to take them back to the guy who we just spoke to. He's Izumi of the Honest Living Association. He was introduced in Yakuza 4. Now, we'll hope that these guys come with us. I didn't want to hit the aggro, but I did, because now the aggro is going to go after them. One of them is delayed behind. Cool. And this is a little finicky, because they have to get past a certain point, which is actually that lamppost. You can't actually like take them inside until you get past, or you get them within a certain radius, which isn't actually explained, but it is that lamppost for all intents and purposes. There is no bigger hitbox for it, unfortunately. There's no hitbox around the back or the side or anything like that, which is a pain in the backside because we have to do that another 3 times. I wish this bit was skippable. I really wish. So, because this is a long bit, it's a bit of a slog. If you want to grab yourself some food, if you want to grab like a cup of tea or anything like that, now's a perfect time to do so. We're just going to be running around, firing a few shots, saving some people. Unfortunately, you can only grab one group at a time. It will not allow you to put up some invisible barricades to stop you from going and rescuing other groups, which is a pain because 2 of them are right next to each other and they're really far away. So, ideally, we'd have been able to go and get them together, but we can't. So, there are 3 of them. The quickest and easiest one is right here, so we'll do that first. Fortunately, they do come and run over to you, so I'm gonna hopefully they won't get caught. They got caught. Nice. Come on over, lads. And I come back a little bit more so that they come down. Interestingly enough, I actually had this glitch out yesterday when I was practicing and figuring out new strats. One of the groups that is supposed to actually... One of the groups that's actually supposed to come into the place here, the last one that we'll be getting, even though they were all in front of the door, none of them actually counted as being there. Oh, this bike. Oh my goodness, that's going to be in the way. That's bad. Also, every time that you enter and exit a building or place, the ammo respawns. So obviously, when I come back to that truck back there, I'm going to be getting some more ammo. I'm going to go forward in the hopes that they don't stop. Because they tend to, you know, they're Yakuza. They think they can take on the world, so they think they can take on zombies with their golf clubs and their katanas, and then they get grabbed. Like so. So you want to keep an eye on them. Usually you keep an eye on them via the minimap. You can usually tell when they get grabbed, like they'll either stop or their arrow will just make a like complete 180 degree. And again, we have to get them around. There's no bigger hitbox around the back. You have to actually wait, unfortunately. And we have one last group. Oops. This is definitely the roughest chapter in the game. But the really bizarre bit is coming up in a second. Baffling game design. I'll tell you when we get there, because I still don't understand. But yeah, like, even though this is the first Yakuza game that I'm running, I am hoping to run more of them in the future. Before ESA happens, I'm hoping to route and do runs of Yakuza 0. And then eventually I will probably route and run the entire series, especially if, like, I tested it with Yakuza 5. The method of removing NPCs in Kamurocho actually works in Yakuza 5. You're going to come along, because if you do, that's wonderful. Nope. Okay, that's not too bad. Usually they can get caught by a zombie because there's 5 of them, but that's actually pretty good. They're going to get caught here a lot as well because there's a big spawn of them, and there's a monkey boy that comes down that you can't actually attack yet. So I clear out those two first. Monkey boy. I usually try and take care of as many of those zombies as I can so that they don't get caught. There's going to be some that spawn behind us here, which is unfortunate because they're going to be right in their pathway. And as you can see, the wonderful frame rate of this game has decided to disappear. I'm going to walk down here and try and, you know, just shoot past them. I'm sure this is working. Come on. They're getting too busy shooting zombies. This happens sometimes. They're continuously spawning. And now these NPCs are going to get in my way, and now they're all going to be stuck in the middle. Thanks to the, NPCs. Alright, come on. Again, wait. Nice bike. Just casually sauntering at the end. Okay, now that that's done, now that we've done this favour for Izumi, Izumi is going to give us a very special present. He's going to give us a key. This key is going to be very vital because it's going to get us our tank shell to the tank. He is giving us a key to a forklift. Can you see where this is going? This is going exactly where you believe it is going. This forklift actually isn't there until you get given this key, and it takes you out of the building now. But yeah, we're gonna go drive a forklift. Say hello to one of the most bizarre puzzles in any game ever. So you're supposed to make room for both the forklift and the tank shells, but if you were paying attention to the containers, that's not possible. And I'll show you why. Because you see how there's this tiny gap here? The forklift won't fit through that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this forklift and we're going to make room, obviously, or try to make room. And once you have something on the forklift, you can't actually put the thing that you've got down. So when we pick up the tank shell, we need room to get us both through. So the quickest way to do this is to grab these two, this one and the one in front of it, and move it to the bit on our left. Now, you're going to love the answer to this. Pay attention to where all the crates are when we finish. So you see these two are on the right. Also, notice that the forklift has a fuel percent and a health bar under it. Watch that health bar and remember we're on easy. That health bar doesn't last at all on easy. On the hardest difficulty in this game, this forklift, it basically made of paper mache. It crumbles. So, okay, so let's take a look and remember that layout. Let's go grab the tank. Go grab the tank rounds. Hello, zombies. The most bizarre inclusion of a forklift section I've ever seen in a video game. Shenmue's made sense. This kind of doesn't. So there's the tank rounds. We're gonna go grab one of these. Look at how much health we've lost already. And this is easy. It is very easy to break the forklift and game over. So remember the layout of the containers? What the game doesn't actually tell you is that it will move the containers for you and get rid of the two on the left so that you have room to get through. Oh, that's bad. You ideally don't want to hit too many explosives, not because of your health of your forklift in this difficulty, but because of the frame rate. But yeah, the forklift cheats and actually removes the containers to get out of your way. I spent so much time trying to figure out how to actually like get out and like make room, but the game does it for you, and it never tells you. So it takes 3 tank shells. Nice hard spamming. And we're done. I've just made a mistake. If you hit circle too fast, you can get out of the tank before this cutscene happens. And you can see this frame rate just tanked. Whoops. If you don't do that, the frame rate stays nice and stable. Or as stable as it does in this game. So, brand new shots fired strats coming right up. I tested these yesterday and they're legit. This load time now takes forever because I got out of the tank as well. Rip. I made a mistake. I was testing these strats yesterday and it actually turned out to be pretty good. So again, go to just basically blow open a hole through the infected zone into the non-infected zone. Sad again. Yep. But that's the nastiest chapter of the game out of the way. Although it's kind of amusing because of the whole forklift section. Don't know why that forklift section exists, but yeah. So this chapter's called Sweet Death. And one of the things you didn't see earlier, when the baseball-capped zombie went into the Tojo office at the very start of the game of Akiyama, he actually muttered Sweet Death. And there is a reason for that. So, there's a reason why, I said earlier, there's a reason why we're playing on New Game Plus, and this is it. I'm going to go grab a thing that is going to help a lot. I usually don't grab this until the finale, because New Game Plus has this very weird thing that if a character is holding this weapon by the end of the game, on Hasegawa is like, please go save these places. We're gonna go see Bob Utsunomiya B. The B is important because A is not important to us. Hey Bob. And he's gonna give us a satellite laser. If a character is holding on to this at the end of the game when you save and you do a New Game Plus run, you will not be able to pick up the satellite laser. I do not know why it bugs out. Bob assumes that you have it, and if you have it on the last character, like a sensible person should, because that's when you unlock it, the game doesn't think that he has it, but Bob does. So you can't get that if you're carrying hold of it. So I use that logic in here. What if I grab it with Ryuji, and then discard it before the end of his chapter? We can't do it with Akiyama. I'm going here specifically because there's a sub-story on the left that takes all of your like time away because it's like a 2-3 minute voice cutscene. But I had the thought, right? What if with Ryuji we grab this weapon and we have an opportunity to actually discard it before the end of his chapter, because his nasty boss comes in chapter 3, which is the one after this one. You'll see how fast it goes. I'm just going to equip it before we get to the next part real quick. And because I have a level up, it automatically puts me in the menu below equipment, which is another reason why I haven't enhanced my abilities yet. Just a quick little bit of menuing time save. So the last of the offices where Nikaido had marked on his map, as we said, is over here. We're going to be skipping these cutscenes again, so there's a fair big info dump here. In Yakuza 1 and Yakuza Kiwami 1, Nishiki had a guy under him called Hayashi. Now, this guy hates Kiryu with a passion. He tries to kidnap his adopted daughter. Yes, the same one that's kidnapped in this game. And in 2, and in 3, etc, etc. And we find out that the zombie walking around in the baseball cap, muttering Sweet Death, is Hayashi. Hayashi used to be with the Omi Alliance. So Ryuji knows him. And obviously Kiryu knows him. And he comes in here and, you know, he does his zombie thing. You know, he just bites people. Oh, by the way, this is a satellite laser. If you're too close like that, you can get knocked down by it. But it's the powerfulest weapon in the game. Ah, hello. You can't run and shoot with it, which is one of the reasons why it's actually not that fast with most characters. Also, Hayashi jumped out the window. Happens. Just happens. But that satellite laser is going to come in handy, and thank you, camera. The camera really doesn't like being indoors. Nikaido basically phoned us then and said, I have Kazuma Kiryu's daughter at Club Asia. Come see me. So we finally know where he is. So, alright, we'll go see him. For most of this part, I won't be using the satellite laser. It's mostly for the next part. But yeah, you can imagine that a satellite laser is a pretty powerful weapon. It's not necessarily a shots fired, but you know, it still counts. So in this next section, we're going to get closed off by a Diptera and a Hornet. You have to kill both of them. Quickest way to kill them. And then I'm going to switch back to my arm, because we have a few barricades to go through. This is the old Champions District. It's basically a place where there's a lot of bars and stuff. Also, Molotov zombies on rooftops. Throwing Molotovs at you and being pains in the backside. Hate this area. It is really kind of hard to navigate at times as well. So here we're going to find another character who's been in this series a long time. Well, not a long time, but since Yakuza 3. I believe this is called Michiko. Her barmaster is over here. He's not there originally, which is why you have to go here. And you have to go and save him before you can actually leave the area. There's a fatty down here who tries to get in the way. And that Molotov zombie dead, so he doesn't stop me on the way back. Hit that one so he doesn't stop me. We're dead for this bit, and scoot on past. Cool, lucky. So we've saved him. Beefy lady question mark comes along. And basically, he's now saved, and now we can leave this area. They tell us how to get out of the infected zone by going into Little Asia, which is actually a place set up by the Chinese residents of Kamurocho. It's pretty cool, because in Yakuza 4, you can't actually get into Little Asia. Also, all the enemies despawn here. You can't actually get into Little Asia in Yakuza 4 unless you have a character that can speak Chinese. It's the same with this game, but by the time any character like that comes along, well, the infected zone's already reached Little Asia, so off we go. We can just enter. I'm going to need the... Oh, I'm going to need my barricade opener first. There's me. There's usually 2 fights here that take a while. Again, one spawns at that side of the street, one spawns on that side of the street. But again, fortunately, satellite laser. You have to kill all of them. I did not want to get knocked all the way down here, but oh well. I know there's one still alive back there. I'll kill it in a second. I want this Diptera dead. Oh, the satellite laser is not doing work at the moment. Does someone else? What are you doing down there? Cool. And because we're right here, we're right next to the place we have to go. It's, again, narrow corridors. The narrowest in this game. I started firing early to break this barricade. And again, very narrow corridors. The game, it's not too happy about them. So there's a child just hiding up here. He feels more safer up there than he does down there. So I do the quickest, obviously, dialogue option to get through. So, this cardboard box is talking to us. kill all the enemies in here, unfortunately. Again, satellite laser makes nice short work of that. And, you know, the whole thing about creativity. Oh, there's a man in the box. Who would have guessed? Tells us that we can get out if we keep going. Kodos in Yakuza 0? Yes. They're in Yakuza 0, Yakuza 4. Not sure if they're in 5, actually. Don't quote me on that. But they first appeared in Yakuza 4. Quicker to kill them because they're on the ground. Yeah, the Fatty Fork was a synthesis item material for the guns. Even though that bit's blocked off, that's not actually the way to go. It's actually a dead end. Goodbye, frame rate. So we've got one more to do and then we can get out of here. Reload before we get there. Again, just short corridors. The game is not happy about them. You're still alive. Oh, hello. Again, if you're near any particle effect, the game's FPS doesn't like it. And this is the last guy, which is nice. We can now get out. Japanese Inspector Gadget. I wish. Now we just have a minigun for an arm. That's as you do, you know. When you can't use your arm anymore, you know, first thing I'd do is get a minigun attached to it. It does transform into a normal hand as well, so it's multi-practical. Use it like an actual hand, or you can use it like a Gatling gun. Perfect. So, lovely gentleman here says he's seen our pops. He's seen our pops nearby. But of course, we're going to Asia, the old nightclub, to go and see Nikaido. More sad. Shame. Again, it's important we don't hit those saves because the PS3 UI is awful. Nope, this is an actual game. A non-canonical one. There are multiple non-canonical ones. There is, in Japan, there's 2 Japan-only ones. Ryuga Gotoku Kenzan and Ryuga Gotoku Ishin. They're both samurai period games. They are both awesome. It's such a shame the West never got them. Like, they are both awesome. Ishin in particular is fantastic. And includes gun styles. So if I could learn the speedrun for that, maybe next Shots Fired, if it's a good speedrun. But we'll see. And then there's this. So, yeah. So, Asia, thankfully, is right here. This lovely gentleman, the doorstop, he gives us some grenades. You know, you're supposed to use them. Any percent you do use them. But like I said, we've got a satellite laser. For the first part of this, the satellite laser actually doesn't hit the thing that we need. So we found Nikaido. He's kind of injected our pops with a little bit of the zombie serum. And you know how we make takoyaki together in a food stand? It's symbolic. That's our pops. So, the easiest way to deal with this one is to shoot all the parts of its arm. Once you can kill 4 of them, it goes to the next phase. All of these benches that are around can hit you, and they can actually get in your way. It's easiest to hit the bottom ones. The top ones move around a bit more. The satellite laser actually focuses on him himself, so it's not actually that good to use a satellite laser. You'll usually get hit once or twice here, and the benches bouncing around will hit you, and so will his tentacles. It's not important how many times you hit them. If you can hit the weak spot, they'll go down a bit quicker. It's just hard when there are things bouncing that are going to knock you back, and when the FPS is awful. come on. Yep, Yakuza 5 is available in English. It's digital only. It's the only one in the series that is digital only. How have you not broken yet? This is ridiculous. This is a bad boss fight. There we go. So when you kill 4 of his tentacles, it goes into the second phase. It's supposed to show off that Pop's arms can actually regenerate. But now we can actually hit him. So, remember I picked up that satellite laser? That's what it's for. He's supposed to have, I think, 3 HP bars. Yeah, about that. Watch. Yeah, 3 HP bars. Green is 3. I'm gonna whip out the satellite laser. There's actually a point in 80% you can stand here and you won't get hit. Ah, he went down. That's a shame. You can sometimes get a one-hit combo on him and just completely kill him. Don't do that again. Could you pop your head out of the holes, please, so I can attack you? Thank you. What? Okay, so you see that he isn't dying now. We have to wait till he jumps out of the hole and do this. That was a bad pop swipe. I got really bad luck with that, unfortunately. So about not getting hit exactly. Like, with any percent, there's actually a spot you can stand on those stairs. It's indicated by having one of Ryuji's foot on the top step and one on the next step. And when that happens, he'll always bring his tentacles up to try and do like this melee attack, but he can't actually hit you. So he just keeps trying to do it, and then you can just like freely hit the weak points on his tentacles. And then we have this big emotional moment where he's making takoyaki, teaches us to stab a squid in the head, and he's a squid. We have a spear. It's symbolic. Yeah, unfortunately we got a level up in there rather than in the fight, so again, we have to wait a few seconds for this to go through. Again, it's better to try and get level ups if you can outside. Yeah, that was a really unfortunate fight. So Ryuji's 4th part, thankfully, is also pretty short. It's literally kind of a quote boss battle. Unfortunately, we'll be getting rid of the satellite laser because this is the last time we play as Ryuji, and we're going to need that satellite laser again in the finale. So those were the actual new strats for shots fired. If I didn't actually take the satellite laser for the second phase, we still saved time overall, but if we didn't take the satellite laser for the second phase, it would have taken about another minute to 2 minutes, depending on how lucky we get with the arm attack. We did get really unlucky. Like, he just didn't come out, and then when he did come out, he went back immediately. Not quite sure why. I think maybe I was standing too far back. So, whoops. So we're going to go to our weapon list and, nope, discard the satellite laser. Because again, we need it in the finale, so we have to make sure that we can get that. And this is one of those where they put the confirmation on the bottom part instead. Accidents between take place in the same universe, 100% canonical. Confirmed. So, do you remember the Not Lickers and the Not Attack on Titan? Well, now there's a big version. Although there's 2 of those lickers. Yeah. A few zombies as well. The only things you have to kill are the lickers. Sorry, the non-lickers and the Titan. The non-Titan. I'm going to move back at the start because he's going to throw things and these 2 are just going to get in my face and try and kill me. So we're going to do this until they go invisible. Goodbye, frame rate. In any percent, there's ammo around that you can pick up. We're probably going to get hit by the big lad. He's probably going to throw something at us. Or he's going to do a wave attack. Where's the other one? Actually invisible. Shame the lock-on actually locks onto him. I should have reloaded. When he's raising his arms like that, if you actually hit him in the weak spot enough, he will actually cancel the attack, which you'll see coming up in the next character's part. That was okay. Not too great, not too bad. I didn't get interrupted by him, which is important. He can throw a majority of things like rocks, cars, explosive barrels, stuff that will keep you down for far too long. And the end plot point of Ryuji's part is him screaming Nikaido. Ryuji has had enough of these zombies, and he wants out. Time for the last character, which, if you've ever played a Yakuza game, you know exactly who this is. Of course it is. It's the dragon of Dojima himself, Kazuma Kiryu. So we get a rehash of the cutscene from the very start of the game, where Nikaido has Haruka, Kiryu breaks the phone in his hand because Kiryu is pretty badass, and Kiryu basically comes to Kamurocho, and he's so famous at this point that even the media move out of his way, even the police move out of his way, just to let him come back. Now, Kiryu, bless his socks, he doesn't have guns, he doesn't like guns, so remember when I said this game doesn't play like Yakuza? Actually, this bit does. So the quickest way to actually get through this bit is to knock the zombies to the ground, because it's to show that the zombies don't die. The quickest way is a two-hit combo, a square triangle. The targeting is actually a little messed up compared to the other Yakuzas, because it's based on Dead Souls. And then once you get a certain number, or once you get like a specific number down, it will end it. Like that. So then we get a cutscene of Kiryu realizing that they're not actually going down when he punches them. So he decides the logical thing to do, as Kiryu does, punch them harder. Technically these are shots, he's just shooting with his fist. There's a few cutscenes going through the plot points I said earlier about sending Haruka off on her own, which... that's never gone well in this series. Don't know why we keep doing it. You'd think we'd realise at this point after 4 games that it's not a sensible idea. But, hey ho. Kiryu's a bad parent, who would have thought? So once we get past these cutscenes again, with... more than I expected, actually. Once we get past these cutscenes again, we're gonna knock some zombies down again. Exactly. Fists are nature's bullets. Thank you. Thank you for justifying the punches. But yeah, again, I found the fastest way is to just knock them down. But Kiryu basically gets angry at this point. Kiryu just starts to get madder and madder. And if anyone who plays this series knows, an angry Kiryu is not something you want to go up against. Ooh, a double. Nice. Nice. So they keep getting back up. Kiryu's not getting the point, and he gets saved by an army lady called Asagi. She briefly turned up in Ryuji's chapter when he blew up the barricade, because... Ryuji, why would you do that? Like, come on, dude. She tries to give Kiryu a gun. Kiryu is very, very, very positive that he does not want to use a gun. So he doesn't accept it. So we're off. We're going to go down the underground parking lot again, where we heard there's a civilian in distress. Unfortunately, this is a bit of more of an emotional moment if you're playing the game. Do you remember old Nagahama? The guy who kept referencing Kiryu to Akiyama? I mean, Akiyama already knew Kiryu from Yakuza 4, but... good old Nagahama who kept referencing Kiryu is a big fan of Kiryu's and respects him. But unfortunately, old Nagahama got bit and is turning into a zombie. So unfortunately... we have to take him down. The quickest way I found for this is he has a bigger health bar. So, quickest way is to knock him down, then kick him when he's on the ground to get him up. And I believe it's a certain number of times he goes down from full health and then gets up again. So if we do a 3-hit combo into a strong square, square, square triangle, or 4-hit combo in this case, and kick him while he's on the ground, he gets up quicker, which gets us to the next part quicker. Because after a certain number of times, Kiryu will realise, actually, this isn't working. And he takes the pistol off Asagi, and unfortunately, ends for Nagahammer. Hello, I missed. Yeah, the targeting in this section is not traditional Yakuza, so it's a bit finicky. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the end of Nagahammer. And Kiryu accepts the gun. So, Kiryu's chapter is actually the biggest change in New Game Plus to any percent. Because, again, it's New Game Plus, the game just says, okay, take your guns. Take your gun that you're not supposed to get until the finale. If this was any percent, I would go and buy a rifle. I would go and outfit this rifle with as many upgrades as I can potentially get, which is usually pretty quick. However, I did this weird test where I decided not to get this rifle because Kiryu doesn't have a fast-firing weapon. He has an anti-material rifle, aka the frame rate destroying rifle, which you will see in a second. So I decided to buy an assault rifle because there's a lot of moments where there's a lot of zombie hordes and stuff. There's one in particular you'll see coming up, but he doesn't actually need it. I saved literally 5 minutes by not buying this rifle, even though Kamiyama is right there. Also, here's Hasegawa. She is treating zombies like non-people, and Kiryu actually has a heart and scolds Hasegawa, but he still does the work for him because he's a nice person. You won't be talking to Hasegawa. We're leaving. And Hasegawa's like, hey, save these people. And we're like, no. So, we're off to Kamurocho Hills, because that's where her squad went. We don't know that Daigo was there, but we know that obviously we know that Daigo was there. Let's go find Daigo. So unfortunately, there isn't an ammo point for a while. And there's also a Molotov zombie right in front of us. But say hello to Kiryu's anti-material rifle. This is its ultimate form, the Dragon Rifle. You can see how there's heat glowing from the end of it because it's the ultimate version. When you fire it, and you'll see in a second when we fire it, frame rate just disappears because this is a good game. But we have to go to the northeast part of the city, and again, quickest way is just to run through like this. At certain points, I'll aim down the camera like this when firing to try and save some frame rate. That would have been a good any percent drop. There's a Diptera in front of us, which didn't block us, which is nice. That crybaby will call in some zombies and get rid of the frame rate again in a bit. So with Kiryu, you usually start with a pistol, which is why I get the rifle. But this actually is serviceable enough because it just blasts through enemies. Here's L2. This is a proper sniper rifle, so it acts like a sniper rifle. You get a scope and everything. That will be very important in 2 chapters' time, where there will be a boss with a very reasonably tricky quick kill. I actually messed it up yesterday, so I'm hoping that I can get it today. No Molotov zombie. Don't you dare. He can block you in there. Because he's a Molotov zombie, and Molotov zombies are the worst. But this anti-material rifle is the strongest quote-unquote base gun in the game. Not counting obviously the satellite laser or the infinite ammo rocket launcher. Excuse me. Okay, knock them down, which is nice. I have 2 shots left, I only need 1. Even though it looks like I can go on the left there, you can't, so you have to go around him, and good. That was the last shot I needed, because it completely breaks barricade. I'll get rid of you. And there's our ammo resupply point, which we're going to need for the next few sections. The anti-material rifle, we don't need that much ammo, but we do need a lot of it. As I said, Kiryu gets the usual 4 chapters, and he also gets the finale, because it's his Kazuma Kiryu. Of course he does. But we'll take all of this, thank you. Good, reloaded before I got in here, which is important, because now we have to shoot some zombies again. How did Zombieland use Molotovs? Good question. I wish I knew. Again, most annoying enemy in any game ever. They are awful. When they stun lock you, they will throw the Molotov at the exact precise frame that they need to stun lock you. And if there's more than one of them, you're not getting away. Unless you're really lucky and it pushes you out of their sight. It's ridiculous. So we gotta kill... No, we don't have to kill the zombies. We have to go inside first. Sorry, getting my parts mixed up. Nice mannequins, right? It's not a mannequin, it's a zombie. However could you guess? Molotov zombies! No, you put that fire down. I'm gonna take some more ammo. Might not think it, but I'm gonna need the ammo. Oh my goodness. Fortunately, this is a nice section where we don't actually have to, like, kill all of them, unlike the last few times we've been here. And again, for some reason they won't climb the short barricade that's to the left there, that's knee height, because video game logic. We just have to walk around. And like I said, the game does a very good job of keeping you in bounds. There's no real out of bounds, which is a shame. I appreciate that most people like their speedruns with, like, more speed tech. Most of the speed tech for this game is more under the hood. One cycles, better movement, stuff like that, etc. But yeah, it's nice Molotov zombie. If I could get the like the game where it pushes you forward to work on a more consistent basis, then it would have some movement strats. But unfortunately, it's too finicky. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it can send you backwards. So Asagi here has found her squad a little zombied. One of them, up close and personal, has a Molotov. Reload quick. Okay, good, there was one left. So there's going to be a spawn here. We're going to hope to get real lucky real quick and kill that crybaby. Nope. And she spawns in some zombies. Shoot the monkey boy. And there's one other person in this supermarket. A familiar face. You'll see in a second when this result screen is done. So while Asagi mourns for her SDF partners, we find somebody eating a tin of beans in the corner. It's not Daigo. Daigo just turns up. It is, in fact, Majima. Majima still isn't telling anybody that he's infected. But they basically, Majima and Kiryu, you know their backstory if you've seen this series, blah blah blah. They catch up. Kiryu tells Majima that Nikaido's got Haruka. Majima tells him about where the people have gone down into Purgatory. What? But basically, they catch each other up on the situation. So for this section, Majima is going to go down the bottom and distract the zombies. And we're supposed to use a default sniper rifle that's up here to actually attack them. But of course, we've got a stronger one in our hand. We are going to go over there because it provides a better sniping spot. With this sniper rifle that the game wants you to use as well, sometimes it doesn't kill the last zombie until Majima hits a certain point. But I found that with the dragon rifle, everything is fine. So there's a nice big spread, so, you know, even with my bad aim, we can just kind of look around and shoot reasonably close, but not necessarily up close. Where's the last one? Hello. Nice aim, streamer. And now we're just leaving. Also, Molotov zombies. Right here. Right in the way where we're supposed to go. Trying to stunlock me, but actually setting fire to themselves. Beautiful. So we have to kill all of these out here. I'm going to try and hopefully kill the Hermit with that. I don't think it will, though. It won't when I hit the wrong button. So that's what Hermit looks like inside, by the way. So I'm going to tell them to attack. Our load of zombies is just going to spawn in all over the place. I think the best place to sit is over here because there's like 5 or 6 spawns in this point in particular. But basically we just have to kill all the zombies. This is why I did originally buy the rifle. But you can see the dragon rifle just decimates anyone in its path. And obviously has a nice long range to it. But yeah, you're technically not supposed to have this rifle until the finale, but you know, no game plus. Some of those. Using something from the actual thing. And you can see the Majima there couldn't kill it because it's not fully spawned in. Last one. Last two. Okay. Okay, not bad, not bad. Not great, but not bad. There's like 5 or 6 spawns under the truck there, basically. So Majima shows us the pathway to Purgatory through the sewers again. Majima decides to walk off because he's got things that he has to take care of. I think he actually tells us at that point that he's infected. I really wanted to kill that aggro, but oh well. So, stop me if you've seen this before. Should look very familiar if you were here earlier and watching Majima's chapter. It's almost exactly the same bit. Except now there's hermits here. Get chicken dinners often in public. Let's not go there. And yes, it's the exact same bit we have to clear at the end as well. So again, we're going to shoot the oil drum. Choose this one on the right because it's a bit close to the other one. I think QTE has been square as well, which is weird. It's supposed to be random. Even on easy, it's supposed to be random, so I'm kind of confused. Oh. Goodbye, frame rate. It was nice knowing you. Just gonna run around and no scope with, you know, an anti-material rifle. Goodbye, frame rate. Camera, please. So you can see why in any percent you grab a rifle, because you're not supposed to have the anti-material rifle at this point. You only have a little small pistol. It's actually really good when the monkey boys jump onto your allies, because they kind of sit there at headshot height where you can just like freely hit into them, which is nice. A little bit of sass. So now we're in Purgatory, and as soon as we walk in, some lowly Yakuza goons actually recognize us as, oh, it's actually the 4th chairman, Kiryu Kazuma. Oh wow. local celebrity. And they get us more caught up to speed. Daigo's here somewhere. Daigo does as Daigo does. He'll appear at some point. It's the Daigo. He's supposed to be important, but he literally just appears out of nowhere half the time. It's kind of weird. Even in the other games, he'll just like appear and disappear. Yakuza 5, he's there and then he disappears. Yakuza 2, he's there, he disappears. Yakuza 3, he disappears. 4? 4 he doesn't disappear actually, but he's not there for a while. He's Daigo. He's supposed to be important. Also, hey, here's Akiyama. Akiyama's telling us to go see Kage the Florist. We've known Kage the Florist since the first Yakuza game. Unfortunately, here comes a bad section. So, what did all of you want from this game? If you said a stationary 3-minute defense part, where you can't do anything and you have to wait for 3 minutes, you're right. So, bottom left picture. There's a guy with Nikaido. That's the guy that we saw earlier. The other guy is called DD. Yes, DD, yes. He's half Japanese, half American. And he's the one behind the zombie virus. He was the one who made it, and Nikaido was the buyer. Obviously, Nikaido's great idea is to use this to take over Kamurocho as if the Omi Alliance, but, you know, I don't understand how that's a good idea with zombies. But even worse, the zombies have somehow found us. There's no real explanation, it's just, oh hey, zombies are idle. So, it's up to us and Akiyama to keep the zombies out. He gives us some healing items. If you... Again, just like earlier, if you want to grab a snack, if you want to grab a cup of tea, now is the absolute perfect time. Because I'm literally just going to be standing here shooting some zombies for 3 minutes. You'll see a pattern every minute as well, actually. Oh, nice. The monkey boy ran away again. This is what it is for the next 3 minutes, I'm afraid, folks. So, this is the unfortunate part of the run where, even if we kill all the enemies, they just keep spawning in. We're supposed to hold out for reinforcements, even if there are none. Mix it up a bit. Scope in. Again, you can see here that because the zombies haven't fully spawned in, you can't actually hit them. There's supposed to be a monkey boy that spawned in, but he's hiding over there right now. Which actually isn't that important, but... And you can see that Akiyama is using his handguns from his campaign. It doesn't really matter, but it does give him a bit of damage. So... You can I think you can barely see the monkey boy's HP if I scroll. Oh, that would be a good any percent drop. The cutie figure right there. And oh hey, a minute's passed and there's new infected. And again, because he's holding on to Akiyama, we can just shoot him. And again, I move back so that they actually aim for Akiyama instead of us. And the other monkey boy turned back up. And again, it's just, there's no pressure here. There's a tiny bit of pressure here in, on Dead Souls difficulty, because again, you're not supposed to have the actual anti-material rifle. I'd be using a proper assault rifle that I level up, but, yeah. How you doing, Akiyama? We can even just leave it all to Akiyama, to be honest. So the only real important things here are to wait. As soon as it's about to hit the minute mark, you make sure you're reloaded. I don't have any other weapons equipped. Oh, I do have the pistol gunner. So you can see there, even with like the numerous headshots, they don't take damage. I wouldn't call it a crazy run. It's more of a... Most of the speed tech is hidden in the back. This is a bit of a rough bit, but it's a humorous run. There's a lot of shots fired. It lives up to the shots fired name. It's not what you'd call a traditional speed run, especially with bits like this. But hey, if you want a lot of shooting, there's a lot of shooting in this. Daily dose of nanny. Hey there, Nakayama. He's fine. He's fine. Okay, so coming up next is an actual bit of speed tech. We have a boss. We have a boss coming up, and it's very important because there's a 1 cycle to this boss, and if we mess up the 1 cycle, we lose a minute. It's actually really easy to mess up as well because you actually have to aim. And I think you've seen my aim today. It's not good. So we're going to have to run across here. We're going to have to get a little lucky at one stage. Crybaby's going to call in some enemies, but it's this part we have to get lucky at. There's, as you can see, a big lad. Yes, we killed him. Good. He can get in your way. I want to reload before I go up here. Okay, so did you guys know? There's a game called Resi Zero, right? There's definitely a boss that's a giant bat, right? This isn't that. Like I said, the game is creative. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll never guess where its weak point is either. Actually, I like to call this guy Batman because he's actually a bat. Never guess where his respawn is. He's Basan. So, if you aim fast enough, you actually don't have a reticule, which is funny. You are going the wrong way. So you can see more of the screen. Okay, he's going down. I need to reload quickly. So here, he's going to show his front. We have to try and hit his weak spot and not let him do anything. Damn it. So, this is his kind of second phase where he calls in zombies from across the street and where we spawn. If I could have hit his weak point one more time, it would have been fine, but it should be fine. There we go. We lost a few seconds because of the cutscene, but at least the zombies didn't start aggroing on me. Some more sass. You'll notice we get not many heat sniping kills because again it starts a QTE. It starts a QTE in a long cutscene, and I may have accidentally messed up one of them in this chapter anyway. Let's ignore that. Yeah, I'm on 3K bitrate myself. I chose to go a tiny bit lower than I usually do just to make sure everything's stable. So we killed the Batman. And now we've decided we got to get across town. The final sprint, it's not the final chapter. Remember world record pace? I'm 19 seconds ahead of world record right now. Just to put that on the table. So remember when I said Daigo randomly turns up? About that. Hi, Daigo. He just turns up. He has a message from the florist, Kage. He says there's a legendary gunsmith that gives us an anti-material rifle. The one we're not supposed to have right now. Now, what do you guys think was really, really missing from this game? If you said an on-rails turret section, you'd be right. Oh yeah. Even better, the gun kills the frame rate. So I'm not firing for a while. Like, watch this. And look at the overheat bar at the top left. It's fine for now, and then all of a sudden, wait for it. Oh, it's starting to go up fast. So things I will be trying to do, blow up these barrels before we get to them to save the frame rate. Killing Molotov zombies, and I'm going to explain something dumb in a minute. That you'll see. Oh, also the sensitivity is crazy bad in this turret section. It is for the entire game, but you get used to it. Also remember, this is easy and we've already lost that much HP. I would love to use that bulldozer right now, but no. So, here comes a ridiculous bit. We're going to kill this guy here. So there's going to be a barricade in our way. Also, if you don't kill that Molotov zombie, Asagi will just park here and not move. The frame rate will die to the Molotov, and you'll take damage. So you see this barricade here? We can't get past it. Make things worse, here's this guy. Remember what happens when you break his armor? Please don't kick that towards me. So notice how the frame rate has just gone. Look at the timer at the top, right? We have to wait a minute. Now that the frames are going, notice how the timer slows down. Yep. The timer is tied to the frame rate. So it is important to fire as little as possible here. If you take care of all of this thing's HP, it doesn't speed things up. It just keeps coming at you. You can't kill it. Like I said, legitimately trying to save time by saving the frames. Let's position it right here and wait. Oh, he moved. Oh, crap. I'm stopping him from attacking me, which does a little more. Hi. So every time you hit him, it pushes him back a tiny bit as well, which is why he positions himself a bit more forward. And we're off. Molotov zombies all over here. Try and kill them to stop fire coming at you and destroying the frame rate even more. There's a section here where there's a load of explosive stuff that we're going to try and take care of before we lose the frame rate all there. Uh-oh. Yup. This section is basically try not to lose frame rate. Exactly. This game has speed tech. It's just, not great. So remember our lovely giant friend who was coming after us just a second ago? He's back! And he will run into us, so... And again, when he gets close and the gun is firing, frame rate goes. Try and stop him before he gets to us. Nice. I'm hoping that's fine. Yep, okay. So, now we can kill him. And again, goodbye frame rate. Here we'll pick up explosive barrels and throw them at us. We need to try and stop that from happening. And there are infinite spawning Molotov zombies, like this guy to our right. What? How did that not hit the barrel? Alright. Good section. Thumbs up. You'd be glad to know we're at the finale. Not much more left. Don't worry, about half an hour. If that. And if you want to know, we're 7 seconds ahead of record right now. 7 seconds. We're getting there. But we should finish, hopefully, sub 255. So that's a good time. Hopefully able to save some time on the schedule, which is nice. So we've found the gunsmith. He gives us the dragon rifle. He's also the one who did Ryuji's arm. How convenient. And then we get a phone call from the florist who says that they're at the top of the Millennium Tower. Who would have guessed? It's never the Millennium Tower. Both him and DD are up there with Haruka, etc. So, remember what I said earlier? I discarded the satellite laser for a reason. For this chapter. Let's go get back our satellite laser because we're going to be using it a lot. Every phase, there's like a final few bosses. Every phase of the final few bosses are susceptible to the satellite laser, except for one that just doesn't take any damage. So Majima here, if you remember, he got bit. He's decided the best way to fight off the zombie virus is to go to the sauna and sweat it out. Majima is as Majima does. Can't blame him, can you? As well, Restreamer, if we have a minute at the end of the run to show off a quick, funny cutscene, then that'd be cool. If not, then that's fine. I appreciate it if not, because I know we're behind. And hopefully I can save a bit of time here. Hopefully. So we're going to ignore Ryuji for a second. And we're going to go run and get the satellite laser. As I said, Kiryu gets 5 chapters. The Kamiyama's behind us. If we were on 80%, we would go there to upgrade the anti-material rifle in any way we can. Because the anti-material rifle is the weapon that you need to use for that one section of the boss. Kine there, this is the last Subterranea. You have to do... I think you have to do 30 floors for Kiryu, and you have to go in again, but you get taken straight to the boss. It's a special side boss. If you've ever played a Yakuza game, the side bosses, they're usually the same person, and this one's no exception. So, we're off to see Bob again, good old Bob. Bob Utsunomiya B. A deals in premium adventure stuff, and satellite lasers back in stock. That's why we get rid of it as Ryuji, and this actually saves time. Because this satellite laser is going to be insane. Watch extra cutscene, sweet. It's only about 30 seconds to a minute. It involves Majima, and people love their Majima. That's, like, when I set my estimate for this, the record that I had on this was a 301, and yesterday took me down to a 253. So, yeah, the new strats and ideas that I had actually paid off quite nicely. It's always good when you speed a game, route it, and then think to yourself, what if I take that giant satellite laser into another place? It's pretty good. I can't use it with Akiyama on his boss, because as soon as you kill that boss, that's the end. Also, as pointed out earlier, Pixivy. And we walk past the Don Quixote. As said earlier, like, these games are steeped in, like, actual genuine culture. Like, genuine places in Japan. Like, these games are so highly detailed and they're so brilliant. If you've ever had the inkling to try the Yakuza series, please do so. The best place to start these days is Yakuza 0 or Yakuza Kiwami. And also, Go to Here gives you 2 dialogues. Like, you gotta make sure that you don't get caught out by the second here. That is supposed to be the point of no return. Because that is the point of no return. However... the game is going to give us a point of no return about 5 minutes before the end, when you can't go back anyway. It's bizarre. Like, the game will actually say, look, you can't come back after this point. You should make a save, but you can't come back anyway. Good old Molotov zombies all over the place here, wrecking the frame rate and stun locking us. That's not good for our time. Oh my goodness. Don't want her screaming and calling in people around me. So for this next bit, I want the satellite laser. Hello. Thank you. Any of these animes on PC? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Sega are well aware of people asking for it. Never rule it out, but as of right now, nope, afraid not. So the satellite laser, as you probably guess, deals with these guys quite nicely. By the way, you can hit Ryuji with the satellite laser. It doesn't do any damage to your partners, but it can hit you because of it. You can also hit yourself and do a slight bit of move tech with it. Please kill those. Okay, you got grabbed by one. Good, because there's a load of spawn behind this truck. Kind of cheekily. Also move away because you can blow up because of it. Yep. You're dead? Yeah, you're dead. Hey, Ryuji, how you doing? There is one behind the truck still. Of course. Been living in Osaka for 5 years now. Oh, there are certain games in this series that actually go to Osaka, and they are beautifully renditioned as well. So again, satellite laser's rather good. I sometimes use the dragon rifle here, but the satellite laser is also good. Yeah, the article about the Yakuza playing the game is hilarious. I think dragon rifle's probably a little quicker here, but that works. I will keep this out. Can I just go? Yes, I can. Okay, good. Molotov zombies, my favorite. Hi, sir. Last one. Yes, good. Logitech's called Logical in Japan for some reason. It's interesting what companies do with their names. Also, every game I run has a little bit of a theme to it. Unintentionally. Every game that I run has the chance to softlock. Titanfalls can softlock in like 7 or 8 different ways. Attack on Titan can softlock in about 3 or 4 different ways. This game is no exception. It can also softlock. There's going to be a fight coming up. If I finish the fight... oh, fuck. I went the wrong way. That's bad. No, I didn't. Oh, no, I'm getting a floor mixed up. Crap. That's not good. If I finish a fight in a certain way with a satellite laser, then... Molotov zombies. Molotov zombies are going to ruin this. If I finish a fight with a satellite laser in a very specific way, the next cutscene will softlock, then it will hardlock, and then the console crashes. It's a bit of a violent crash. I have had it happen twice. Yeah, I'm using a capture card. I'm using a Live Gamer Extreme, although my Live Gamer Extreme's been a bit finicky lately, so... I love it, though. It's been a good one. So, here's another hold out until the thing happens, which we're just going to use the satellite laser, because why would we not? Flying zombies! There's no real danger here. Like... Should've got my rifle out. So in here, in any percent, there's a railgun right there, just pointed conveniently down this Arla zombies. In any percent, you would use that to go through. But because we got the best anti-material rifle... we're just gonna go through. So we're gonna head into Majima's office right here. Fair bit of backtracking in this game. First run of the marathon have satellite-based weaponry? Nice! Technically it's a bullet. Just from space. So here's some of Majima's men. The key card to get upstairs is locked in Majima's safe. Now, this code never ever changes, so you'd think that we'd be able to just use the safe. Unfortunately, we can't. We have to go and trigger the actual safe by getting the notebook. Oh yeah, exactly. Just don't question the logic of the satellite laser. It's very pinpoint precise. So we're going to head up to the storage room. We were there as Majima way earlier. We have to go through a different route, though, because it's been blocked off. Okay, good. The Hermit wasn't in our way here. This Hermit actually can get really in the way. Hey, popped up. Yeah, I'm sure there's actually some really cool Gundam game speedruns out there. Good autoing. So there should be a notebook in here. It is in the back. Whoops. Bad movement. Bad speedrun. And we have to backtrack the exact same way we came. So that's why we want to take some care of as many of the zombies as we can. The Diptera never usually leaves the room, but I appreciate that. Letting the Hermit free is actually not a good thing because he's fast and he punches you. And here's the interesting thing about this safe code. If you get it wrong 3 times in a row, Goda will just force it open anyway. And you won't get the rewards inside. We're going to do it though. Because it's quick. It's quicker than going through it 3 times. So you speak to the dude, and he's like, "Did we find it?" And then we go through a really funny set of dialogue, and at the end of it, the initiative's just like, "I'm just going to set it to the room code, which is 3538." And we got told that there is a very dangerous zombie somewhere above us. Do you remember the baseball cap zombie, Hayashi, earlier? Yep, that'd be him. So, off we go again. Caught on scenery as we go. Ah, that hit. Shame. So again, we're going back up the way we just came. This game likes doing that a lot, as you've seen. Keep the rifle out for a second. And, oh, hello. Got quite enough door. Because the weapon swap is on the D-pad. So, this is the fight that can soft lock the system. In here, the baseball cap zombie Hayashi is here. And we learn via a cutscene that the zombie serum that turns people into zombies is actually a aphrodisiac. I don't know why either. Hey, his Wii Spot's on his back. That's new. Cool music though. Oh, he is in a good place. Nice. So here's some nice floral designs. And wait, is that grenades? So he's gonna take those grenades, he's gonna use them. Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. Please don't knock me down. Oh, okay. So he's now gonna go on the ceiling. This is a bit bad, but it's fine. We have to kill him fast, otherwise we're gonna lose time. He's gonna try and steal Ryuji's arm. I wish I was joking, but he just rips Ryuji's arm off if you let him. We're not gonna let him. This might soft lock. If it does, I have a backup save. What we want to see is visuals in this cutscene. This next one, not that one. If this next one is a dark screen, then we're about to soft lock. I don't know what it is with me and speedruns that soft lock. Nice, we got it. So that was the one where DD basically shoots Hayashi and basically turns him into the first zombie. The one that starts the whole zombie outbreak. This is the worst Yakuza game at 450 viewers. You're welcome. I'm not disagreeing with you either, but you're welcome. It's the one that fires the most shots. Outside of maybe... No, it fires the most shots easily. So here's your point of no return. Like, it even says you can't return to this point. No, that was when Ryuji Goda said we can't return. Not this part. But that's where my backup save is. Oh, I hit Ryuji instead. That's bad. Satellite laser is the quickest way of dealing with them. We good? Nice, okay. Right, let's get going. No, that zombie was still alive, so his hitbox was actually blocking me again. Switch back to satellite laser. This is going to be close, by the way. We're going to be very close to Reki. So we're shutting the barricade again to protect Majima's men in the office. So again, it's another one of these. Oh boy. Just fire the satellite. Fire the satellite laser. Oh, two of them are spawning in. Dragon rifle for the next bit. Cover your ears, it's about to get loud. That triggered an alarm. I'm fairly certain this is a stock alarm sound. And that's good. The zombie body... Oh no, oh no! Blocked the way, which was good, but then I got hit. Try and hit these crybabies if you can to stop them summoning. We hit the one that didn't summon yet, so that's good. Shoot that aggro out the way. Hope the other one doesn't kill us. Oh no. Oh no. It's happening. Ryuji, help. Ryuji, help. Ryuji, help. This isn't good. This is sloppy. Frame rate, please. I need you right now. So the alarm box is right there. Apparently I can just fire and shoot. I didn't even realize that. And it's finally time for the final showdown. Switch the satellite laser before we get up there. Let's end this. So, he has two of his final prototypes up here, the final versions. If we get a good cycle, they will not walk away from us and we'll be able to kill them right in front of us. Otherwise, one of them might run down the other end of the room. That will cost us a tiny bit of time, not too much. Also, this room is so large that it kills frame rate all on its own, which is nice. One of them went away. Oh, well. Okay, so we're going to start shooting this guy, and at some point he's going to go to solo HP. He's going to run over to his mate and literally suck the life out of him. But fortunately, they're now sat together, so we can kill one, and then we can kill the other. He took no damage for a second there. That's bad. Cool. First round of the final boss is down. Oh, you can see we saved Haruka at the back there. No, my R1 button is a bit messed up. I should really get a new DualShock. So, Nikaido actually gives up. DD isn't having any of it and turns on him. And of course, turns him into a zombie. Because why not? He's looking lovely. Damn it, I didn't hit him before he went away. That is bad. He's going to try and hit me. Grab me even. Oh, I gotta be facing him for the satellite laser, apparently. What? Excuse me? I skipped an entire phase. He's supposed to turn into blood and summon blood zombies. I know, that sounds very weird. Huh? That's never happened before. Oh. Okay, so now here's his final form, by the way. Now the game turns into Attack on Titan. He's rather large now. You kind of can't fit into the room anymore, so now we're on the roof. And again, Satellite Laser is the most amazing thing in the world. Now he can take damage. He's going to grab us. We're going to have to do a quick QTE here. Right in the eye. This actually could be actual world recce because of that. Like, that's literally saved like 30 seconds. That's actually ridiculous. I don't understand. So now we've damaged him again enough. Know that talk we had about creativity? About Resident Evil? They wouldn't throw a rocket launcher out of a helicopter at us, would they? Huh? Actually, no, it's a bunch of grenades. Sorry to burst your bubble. He's gonna get some health back. I'm not gonna be able to hit him again, I don't think. I can't switch weapons anymore. Yeah, he's gonna hit me real quick. Yep, that's fine. And then we throw another one into his big old mouth. Right, time is gonna come up soon. Very, very soon. Oh, by the way, here's the rocket launcher. Sorry, we are ripping off Resident Evil. So, fire a missile. And just like Resident Evil, you can probably tell, it's going to get stuck in his ribcage. Time is going to happen as soon as we hit this QTE. That's time. 18-second PB, by the way. And that's the end of Yakuza Dead Souls. There's one quick cutscene that we're just going to play out real quick right here. It's only going to take a minute. Basically, Didi tries to get away in a helicopter, and Akiyama turns out he's fighting in a helicopter. That's the end of DD, and yeah, it's world record. I set a time yesterday. But yeah. So if you're wondering what happened to Majima, and that's Yakuza Dead Souls. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you look forward to the rest of the marathon. I'll be back tomorrow with Grief Syndrome, but next up should be Hitman Contracts, so enjoy the rest of the marathon.